Insane in the Brain.
Yeah, we might need to show up.
He produced the foundation for Exhibit.
Produced Grandmasters with Jizza.
Mm. Oh, we're gonna go in 5 seconds? Cool, let's get it. I'm ready, man. Hold on, let me do this. Let me put my phone on. Do not disturb. Or airplane mode. All right. Can I count it off? What up, what up? A2HH Live. Mike D in the spot. We got Coop over here to the right of me. How are we doing on this Wednesday, brother?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Let's get some things together and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Like James Brown would say. You know, move some things around, get things together and whatnot. It's been a busy couple days, man. A lot of things have been happening in hip-hop. You know, you're going to enjoy this part of it. I was listening to a lot of Kendrick Lamar today. I was listening to Kendrick's catalog from beginning to now. We're going to have a whole discography conversation.
So you were asleep the last 2 hours?
No. I was very, very awake and very aware, man. He has a bit of a catalog, man. I understand why he is placed where he is placed to a certain degree. Now, I don't think him being number 2 all time with Billboard is justifiable, but I do understand to some degree, and we're going to speak to some of that. But first things first, go ahead. You were going to say something.
Catalog is top 10-ish. Have always said that.
Yeah.
Last album still whack as hell.
Yeah.
Both things can be true.
I will say this, man, and I don't want to jump into this too early, but I feel like each album, his identity's different, and it's not in an Outkast type of way.
Like
where you could tell that Outkast is kind of a different group because they're growing and they're trying things. But with him, I still feel like he was trying to find himself as an artist.
some things are about how they happen. I think it's the fact that all his great albums happened in order. It's like I thought about something the other day. You know, we were on the Snoop Dogg kick before Monday's show. I mean, look at Snoop's 3 or 4 best albums. It's not that far off Kendrick's. Like, first of all, Doggy Style's better than anything Kendrick's ever made.
I agree with that.
Period. The end.
I think LeBron James agrees with that, too, and we're going to get to his top 5 also.
The end.
Yeah.
You know, so he has Doggy Style, but no, he has the blue carpet treatment.
Mm-hmm.
He has Rhythm and Gangsta.
That's my shit.
Yeah. I mean, so those 3 albums.
What
Like,
Snoop has over Kendrick, to me, is the songs. Now, Kendrick has a collective of work as far as albums go, but
not
his
like,
songs are kind of less.
But listen to what I'm saying. Kendrick got 4 great albums. Snoop got 3 great albums. Bigger Impact, of the collective of albums, has the best album as far as a hit maker and classic song maker and scene stealer and classic verse scene stealer.
Features.
It's not even arguable.
Yeah.
I don't think the delivery conversation is arguable. I don't think the voice conversation is arguable. So when you have him so high for this album run, it's like, understand, it's like, well, he's only made one more great album than Snoop, and Snoop has him beat by every other measure except maybe lyrically in one greater album. Like, that's not enough. Snoop made Deep Cover.
I don't want to jump ahead into this conversation, but I did discover why I really like To Pimp a Butterfly over his other efforts.
I'm glad you did that for yourself.
It's his
Mike.
voice. He is trying to, vocally on To Pimp a Butterfly, he's not using that whiny voice as much. He's trying to channel Tupac vocally. He's rapping, I'd say it like this, with a man's voice on there.
It's very problematic that you're talking like that.
No, I'm just saying. It's not the high, squeaky, you know what I mean? Because even when you listen to, like, How Much a Dollar Costs, you listen to his live version of I.
You mean he's talking
you listen
like
to Mortal Man.
You mean he's talking like himself?
he's rapping with some vigor. Like when he says, when shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? Like he's not rapping with the, the bitch be humble voice. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably why when I listened to Pimp a Butterfly, especially for the first time, it hit me a little different. Now, there are some songs on there, like the You song, where he does some of that stuff, and he does it a little bit on All Right, but, I usually skip that You song, to be honest with you. Shout out to Mad Max with the first super chat, and here he says, disagree with the Dot catalog. I can tell after Good Kid, Mad City, you could tell his label made him make those albums. Dot had one great album. Coop, Snoop has two. Before we get into that, because we can go down a whole rabbit hole.
Snoop's got 3.
I think 3? Okay.
Got Rhythm and Gangster, Blue Carpet Treatment, and he's definitely got Doggy Style, and he wrote The Chronic.
I love Rhythm and Gangster.
Like, how about this? Look at it like this. If you actually give Snoop partial credit for The Chronic, like let's say just half, and Doggy Style, that trumps everything Kendrick's done. And then Snoop's catalog is actually better because he does have the Blue Carpet Treatment in Rhythm and Gangster.
Well, one thing I will give Kendrick,
the Blue Carpet Treatment got more classic hits on it than Damn does.
I'm going to give Kendrick this, and I'm probably going to be a big Kendrick defender on today's show. So y'all are going to love that. Shout out to Esquire. His albums are solo missions. They are, in ways that maybe...
It's not always a good thing.
I think that it has served him well over his time.
How many of these songs are you consider classic? Are you playing again if you feel that way? Because the same way I get on Jay about too much help and too many features, it's like, oh, no. This is somebody that could have maybe used some more help. Because the results, when he actually does do features and work with people, it's usually a pretty dope record.
I think Good Kid, Mad City feels like the industry either put that album together or he put that album together for the industry. I don't feel like that was really him. To Pimp a Butterfly, I feel like he was kind of trying to channel Tupac in that. And honestly, when I listen to his albums, Damn actually sounds like the one that's really him. It sounds closer to Section 80, where I feel like Section 80 is really him, obviously because it was before a lot of this happened. But after he became established as Kendrick Lamar and who we know him as, Damn sounds like the album that he actually wanted to make and that he is. You know what I mean? Not saying it's the best of it, but it sounds a lot more natural than the others, if that makes any sense.
I don't necessarily agree with that statement because I feel like for his industry, quote unquote, as Good Kid, Mad City is, it's still very organic. It's very much him. It's very much a view into his world.
Right.
And his window. And he never really expresses, like you don't, that person that's on Good Kid, Mad City, and he's on Section 82. Like Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, like that's Kendrick to me.
To me, Good Kid, Mad City, and it's a dope album.
Like
Very dope
Butterfly
album.
is an industry album because of the expectations that come with it. Well, I'm this to this culture and to this generation, so I have
can
to
see
craft,
how you feel in that
So
way.
I have to craft this album, to reach. Yeah.
Good Kid, Mad City feels like the Big Bang Theory felt like for me with Busta Rhymes, where it's like, okay, well, does Kendrick make a poetic justice on his own?
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like, does he?
But Backseat Freestyle and Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, those aren't industry singles. I'm sorry.
I agree with that, and but I do think that Pull Up Drank was for that time period. They don't feel like natural to that individual. Humble didn't feel that way either, but everything else on Damn did.
I think I can see Swimming Pools being like an extension of the guy that I found on Section 80, so I don't necessarily agree with that. Yeah, it's kind of like Cushion Corinthians, but he's a better writer now.
Mall 7 with the super chat says Scarface has a top 5 catalog. We're gonna get to that. Mad Max says Section 80 was the real Dot. Everything after that was the label trying to push him to make those albums to conflate his image. Jay Short's in the building. Shout out to Jay Short. He says welcome home to Bone. I guess to one of my favorite. BG, Chopper City in the Ghetto was a classic, but Checkmate, It's All on You too, and Life After Cash Money were good too. Yes, welcome home, BG. It's funny, we were just having a Birdman conversation, and Birdman posted that, BG's homie ran up on him, and it was Birdman and Slim. Looked like, they embraced, and everybody's starting this whole Hot Boys reunion rumor, I guess. I saw Turk post some of those memes with people talking about a Hot Boys reunion. Sounds like Turk's down to do it. I would imagine BG's down to do it. Since Birdman said it's cash money for life, Birdman's probably down to do it. Haven't heard from Juvenile or Wayne, but I can see that being a possibility. I would like to see Manny down with that too. I don't feel like the Hot Boys reunion is complete if Manny's not involved. So,
money is the motive.
That's a Wayne quote.
Indeed.
I did a little station head today, and it was supposed to be dedicated to the Dungeon family, right?
Pause. You did a station head when we've had this Wu-Tang tribe thing pending? Are you serious?
It was during the day.
You are ducking and dodging me.
Yeah, I'm ducking and dodging. Were you free to do it today?
Yes.
Were you?
It's my off day, Mike. I take my off days for the podcast, and you know that. He talking about, do you
I wasn't
see
sure.
this shit?
I wasn't sure.
He talking about something I'm not sure when I was like, so Mike.
I wasn't sure.
I'm scheduling my off days so we can do the podcast on Monday and Wednesday.
Okay, well, all right. Let me clarify. Let me clarify, Coop. I wasn't sitting there like, DJing. I was kind of doing what I was doing and just playing music. But anyway, Station Head was supposed to be dedicated to the Dungeon family. Played a couple songs, because I was listening to music while I was working. So I was like, why not have everybody listen to music with me while I'm working, right? And I think it was LP that was in there, and they had a debate. It was LP and Mad Max. They were talking about Wayne. They was like, yo, Wayne ain't this nice, this, that, and the third. So they wanted to, change the course. And we started playing some of Wayne's, I guess, best bar moments. And, many people feel like Wayne might not have been as great of a lyricist as people hold him to based on the work.
So it's funny. I was at a friend's birthday party in Piedmont Park. Mika Means was there. Shout out to Mika. She said she'd pull up and come on to According to Hip Hop.
Shout out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But we had a Wayne conversation in Piedmont Park. First of all, one of the cats there who's 29 thinks Wayne's the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Future's
up there on his list. That's what I mean when I was talking about how like we're diverse with ours down here. But we bought up The Mob, the intro to the Carter 2.
Yeah.
As one of the better intros ever. And I would agree. So I think like when it comes to Wayne's bar work, because there is so much work, it depends on what you're picking. Like if you're picking that Carter 2 shit, it's like, yeah.
Well, you know me, I went throughout his whole catalog. I even went to Block Burner, you know what I mean?
Pick that Carter 2 stuff.
Yeah, I went through the Carter 2 stuff, obviously.
Yeah, there's some GOAT talk on
now,
there.
I will say this. To me, after all the stuff that we played today, the one that actually rang out the most to me was Birdman Jr. The way he's rapping on there, that shit held up. You know what I'm saying?
Like my daddy.
I played that too. That holds up very well. I love Stunting Like My Daddy.
Extremely well.
I played Cannon. You know what I'm saying? One of the other big ones was his 6'7" verse. I think that was pretty crazy too. Gritty with the super chat says.
The whole song is crazy. 6 foot, 7 foot's just crazy, period.
Yeah. Gritty with the super chat says, To Pimp a Butterfly captured a moment in time. True classic. Thug Life Eternal with the super chat showing love. Leroy Green with the super chat says, what up, fellas? But question, how much you think Jay could sell his whole catalog for? What? I don't know. What kind of question is that? Yeah, I have a question for you, Leroy. What album and what song do you think would be the most valuable then?
Leroy, where your bars at, son?
Is it the Hard Knock Life?
Where the album at, Leroy?
Where
Jay
the Short.
Beats at, son?
I think he emailed a beat. I think.
Did he?
I need to go see.
I'm going to go check
Jay Short with the super chat says, the convos you guys had at least 2 weeks highlight how much hip-hop misses the executive producers. A lot of these artists get tunnel vision and need someone to help them out. Help them out together a full project. I guess put together a full project. Yes. Yeah, and those people are underappreciated. I think that the executives in music are, it's a selfless job, to be perfectly honest. But it's very necessary, and we definitely need it. But yeah, as far as Wayne, I think and I've always felt this way. I like Wayne. I think Wayne's dope, but I think his gift is in versatility, longevity, and adaptability. If we're just talking about bar for bar and sticking to a subject, I've never felt like he is as high as, people have placed him. And when we look at it album for album as well, and we're going to talk discographies today, I don't know if his album discography shapes up with some of the greats. What I would say about Wayne is like a shuffle artist, right? His strength is in just spazzing out on the record. And when it comes to his music, his strength is just having a lot of music everywhere that could fit a lot of different places, as opposed to one cohesive thought. I think that would be more of T.I.'s strength.
Do you think Wayne is ahead of a Method Man or a Jadakiss?
Yes, I think because of his discography and the amount of music that he has. Now, if you ask me, is he a better bar-for-bar rapper than those two, I would say no.
Cool G rapping Kane.
I think I would have to put him over them because of his work that he's put in.
So he's pretty damn high then.
Yeah.
So he's top 20 then.
Yeah.
Easy. Right?
His work is unprecedented. It is.
That's not true. Tupac? Nas?
I mean, yeah, but I'm just talking about
J4?
It's not a lot of people. It's not a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a handful of people.
But you said unprecedented, though.
Well, I mean, for his time, I would say that.
For his era,
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He outworked
T.I. I think T.I. is more talented than him, honestly, as an MC.
I agree.
He outworked T.I.
I agree.
I think the troubles that T.I. got into kind of pushed him to the back as well. But if we want to talk about who has the full package, who's more talented as a writer, as an MC, all together, I would have to give that one the tip. But Wayne outworked him and would possibly be ahead of him because of it.
I agree.
But yes, BG's home. What do you think we're going to see from that? Do you think we're going to see a Cash Money reunion?
I really don't know. Because here's the thing. What does a Cash Money or is this a Hot Boys reunion? Is this a Cash Money reunion or a Hot Boys reunion? Hot Boys?
It would have to be just a Cash Money because, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, we could do a Hot Boys reunion. But if Manny Fresh ain't on the beats, what is it?
But what I'm saying is what is it in today's time and culture? Like, are us as 40 and 50-something-year-old men about to go see a Hot Boys concert is what I'm asking you. Dead ass.
It's possible. This is the thing we really need to ask, and here's the elephant in the room. Does Wayne need a Hot Boys reunion? Because that's what it comes down to.
That depends on what this next trajectory of his career wants to look like as he continues. It's like it would be a great parlay into his next project.
I think so.
Or vice versa.
Thumbs up in the chat, y'all. Get some more people up in here. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do think that
but he don't need it though.
I mean, he doesn't need anything, but would it benefit him?
Nice little feather in the cap.
Yeah, I think so. It's a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
even,
I was going to say something crazy, but
it's not anything new to
No, what I was going to say is like, honestly, Justin Timberlake doesn't need an NSYNC reunion, but people would like to see it, I guess. But that's a whole different thing. Those guys are like dads.
See, that's but that's the thing too. Like, because of Juvenile, like, and I realized this when I watched Juvenile's Tiny Desk. It's like, let's not get it twisted and make it seem like Wayne is leap years beyond everybody else in there.
No,
because Juvenile's
the man.
Because Juvenile's the man.
Yeah. And, anybody who followed the Hot Boy stuff, he was clearly the best rapper.
And there are probably people in New Orleans that probably still prefer Juvenile to Wayne if you were to ask them, like in the city, like in the town.
During the Hot Boys run as a group, this is what the hierarchy was. It was Juvenile, BG, Wayne, and Turk.
Correct.
And Wayne and Turk were kind of interchangeable at that point. I would give it to Wayne because of the work ethic and the hook game and all of that stuff over Turk, but there were people who preferred Turk over Wayne at that time.
Yeah, I knew people that felt that way in Carolina.
But as far as BG and Juvenile, like, their work spoke for itself. I feel like, many people tell me that are from the boot, that are from Louisiana, that gangster shit that goes on in New Orleans rap, that's BG. BG started that.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
Head buster.
Exactly. I look forward to hearing what he has coming because I feel like he's going to put something out. And I don't see, I think all of them need this to a certain degree. And when I say need, I'm not saying it like, you have to do it, but they could use it. I don't think it's something that would be a drawback for anybody, Manny Fresh included.
See, this is what I mean about does it benefit Wayne, though? It's like, okay, so how does this tour-wise play out? You know what I'm saying?
We see Wayne doing a lot of features right now. So obviously being active is a part of it.
Not really.
Well, I mean, over the past couple of years.
Oh, yeah. I'll say this year.
So it's not like he's just sitting back like Jay-Z is right now. You know what I mean?
He's done more work than Jay, but not like, by leaps and bounds.
He's been on everything from West Side to AZ to Tyler.
That was 1 year, though, Mike.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, even with that, though, it just lets you know that even in his status.
Jay did the Jay Electronica album.
That was a while back.
That was what started this podcast.
That was like 3 years ago.
That's what started this podcast.
That was going on 4 years ago.
3.5.
Jay, how many verses did Jay have on that album?
I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He doesn't put out a lot of material,
It's
man.
about 9 verses. 8 or 9 verses. So 3 songs worth.
And I have a theory, and I say this respectfully.
And he's got the neck and wrist verse.
Oh yeah, can't forget the neck and wrist verse.
Got the God Did verse.
Of course, can't forget that one either.
He's got the what's the other Khaled Nas joint? The Not Sorry, So Sorry, I'm Sorry.
I want to forget that one. Sorry, Not Sorry.
Sorry
B.
I'm sorry they made that. 'Cause it was terrible. So he's done work. Yeah, he's done some work.
3 verses. Jay Short with the super.
3 verses and hold on. He's done 3 verses.
Well, 2 verses and a mega long verse that was like a whole song.
And a co-star of a whole album. That's more than a lot of people in his bracket have done from his time.
Really?
Really.
Who?
I mean, think about it. Who's standing around from his era that's even done that much?
I mean, just about everybody's put out stuff.
I mean, like Busta's done that. That's what I'm saying.
Busta put out an album.
1.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's not like
Jay don't even have that though.
But when people, it's not like it's leaps and bounds ahead. It's like Busta's only put out 1 album in the same time that we've done this show.
Busta, let's keep it
Snoop
real.
Hasn't put out an album, has he?
Yeah, it's put out a few
Since we've been doing this show. What?
I don't know the names of them, but he's put out some albums. He has. We can look it up.
Rap albums?
He has. Not the compilation stuff.
Not the compilation stuff that we've been covering.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. Yeah. Jay Short with the super chat says, "If we can have a Mount Westmore, why can't the Hot Boys do an album? Nobody would make the age argument if it was Dipset or Goody Mob." Interesting. Esquire with the super chat says, "Wayne and Turk are not interchangeable. Wayne was on most of the hooks, and Get It How You Live, Guerrilla Warfare." Had multiple solo joints on those LPs. I'm just telling you what it was like in my high school. I agree with you, and I said that Wayne did the hooks, Bling Bling, but the truth is, Turk had the verse on Bling Bling, and when Turk couldn't show up for whatever reason to do the edited version, then they threw Wayne in. So Wayne was coming off the bench on that. I mean, they were interchangeable. When they were going back and forth on I Need a Hot Girl, like, they kind of marketed those guys together. It is what it is.
I agree to a degree.
Yeah.
I always felt like Wayne was third. I did feel like it was in order, and it was Juvenile, BG, then it was Wayne, then it was Turk. It felt that way to me.
Of course. What were you about to say before I read Esquire's super chat?
I don't know.
It was something about the age thing. That's what Jay Short said. He said they wouldn't make an age argument if it was Goody Mob or Dipset.
I mean, that's not true because it's like, although I can like something in spurts, it's like, I don't know if I would want a whole album of it. So, like, remember, like, when King's Disease 1 was coming out, and I was like, I really like how the firm kind of flipped the subject matter for that one record. That don't mean I want to hear an album of them talking like that about their relationships. You feel me?
Now, would you like to hear a new Hot Boy album produced by somebody other than Manny Fresh? Is that a possibility?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not super, super excited about the possibility because it's like, well, what did that really look like anyway? Like, what did the Hot Boys look like? Because to me, it always felt like, well, they were always better without each other as a whole and just kind of in spurts of each other. You know what I'm saying? It kind of felt like when it was more of a collaboration and a collective feel and the group feel, it's better. Because when you look at the history of their catalog and all their big songs, it's like, well, they're on a lot of the songs together, but most of their great songs aren't Hot Boy songs. Like if you go through Cash Money's greatest hits, it's like, how many of the songs are Hot Boy songs? Because We On Fire is the only one that comes to mind off the top of my head.
I Need a Hot Girl.
I Need a Hot Girl. We On Fire. It's because Project Chick isn't a Hot Boys record, is it? Project Chick?
No, I don't think so.
Right. Those would be the three that come to mind for me.
Whose record is that, y'all? I want to make sure.
I feel like that's Juvie's record.
I think it might be. Or it's not a Big Timers record, is it?
It's a possibility.
I should know this. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you. But nah, I mean, it's I do think there's an allure for it, and I think that right now we do need some level of excitement in hip hop, and what better way? Because let's just keep it real.
Okay.
Wayne is kind of
the original version belongs to the Big Timers.
Big Timers, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So the Hot Boys, think about it, in Cash Money's, not in rap, in Cash Money's storied history, only two of their greatest hits are Hot Boy records. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what are you really missing?
Well, I think it's a symbol.
Right.
It's a symbol of something. It's symbolic,
like Bling
man.
Bling is BG's record. Back That Ass Up is Juvenile's record.
Right.
Number One Stunner is Baby's record. You feel me?
Right.
It's almost better when they do it like that. It's almost like on some Wu-Tang shit where it's like, well, you know, you can only use the Wu-Tang album stuff, right? But most of their best, like a lot of their best, like fucking group work, it's on the other projects. It's,
well, you know,
Fourth Chamber. It's Ice Cream.
What's interesting about the Hot Boys and that collective, because I feel like they were kind of, and I could be wrong, feels like they were kind of a spinoff of, you know, the Ghetto Boys, right? And that whole formulation over there, Rap A Lot, and with Scarface and Willie D and those personalities and Bushwick, I feel like that makeup is kind of similar to that. But what's interesting about the Hot Boys, and I don't think we've ever seen this, where the person that was the star in the group while the group was popping is not the star in the group anymore. We knew Beyonce was going to be Beyonce and Destiny's Child, if anybody was going to be that. We knew Michael Jackson was going to be the one in the Jacksons. We knew CeeLo was going to be the one in Goody Mob. We knew Lauren was going to be the one in the Fugees. We didn't know that Wayne was going to become what he became in the Hot Boys group. So them reconnecting, that'd be something different that we haven't seen.
See, that's what I mean. That's what I was asking you a few minutes ago. I'm like, well, how is that going to go?
Yeah.
Because Lil Bro's biggest star in the world now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as much as you can be happy.
Juvenile's Jermaine now, unfortunately.
Right. As much as you can be happy for somebody, it's like, no, when you get with a collective that you have memories with, that you spent time with, been on the road with, been on tour with, old habits are hard to break. What happened when them habits come back into play? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does ego and pride become a factor? Is there enough notoriety and viability to do this? Like we would say yes, but how does the rest of the nation feel? Like, we're in the South, so we're going to say yes to a Hot Boys reunion.
Yeah.
They feel that way in Cali? Feel that way in New York, Chicago?
Who knows?
Even Texas.
Well, Jay Short's in Cali. He said that. I think the closest thing
Jay Short's a little different. Jay Short's eclectic like we are.
Yeah.
He don't just listen to West Coast shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what's different, though, I mean, the only thing I can compare this to is probably Ghostface and the Wu-Tang. But that was happening.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah, but that was happening while they were still a group. Ghostface was emerging right before our eyes.
And here's the other thing about that, too. As much as I love Ghost, is like, Ghost is the best album maker in the group. He's the best storyteller in the group. He's not the best lyricist in the group. He doesn't have the best. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that he's not best at in the group. It's like, you think he's the best overall MC.
I'm biased.
And so do I, but that's mostly about the albums. If we going on some pound for pound shit, I still don't think he's better than Ray or Meth or Jizza in a vacuum. If we talking on some pound for pound, if you had to go get a rhyme for somebody in the Wu, Ghost wouldn't be my pick. If I needed the album to be made, I'd go get Ghost.
If I need a feature, I'm gonna go get Method Man. Right.
Right. I'm going to get.
If I
If I want some New York shit, I'm going to get Ray. That's what I'm saying.
I'm with that. I'm fine with that. I think
if I need some lyrical shit, I'm going to get the Jizza. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
or Deck.
I think Jizza's more lyrical than damn near anybody we can think of, right? You know, so I don't know if that's fair.
He's a Black Thought Rakim.
Yeah,
Pun,
exactly. Yeah, the only people I would really compare to lyrically when it comes to Jizz is Rakim. Like,
he's very
in the way he puts it together.
Yes,
so I don't know how
measured.
fair that is, but when you talk about overall and you talk about presence, performance, storytelling, just that flair. I mean, Ghostface is the definition of superhero rap.
See, I see that is the fan in you talking, because it's like
I'm a fan for a reason.
But objectively speaking, it's like, no, he's just the best storyteller and album maker. And those are huge things. Like, storytelling and album making matter so much in hip hop that it puts him over the top. Like, how about
you don't think he's the most versatile in the group?
That still might be Meth, because he still has I'll Be There For You.
I'm talking about by himself, though.
I'll Be There For You.
I mean, you got one or two records that you're naming. Like, you know, this man does everything from Shay Shirley Ghost to All That I Got Is You. Do you feel like Method Man can give you All That I Got Is You?
See, that's where Ghost is going to win, is the touching stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like
Impossible. Method Man can't give you that.
Well, see, so this is what I'm glad you brought up Impossible. It's like, well, Meth can't give you Impossible, Mike, but we remember Shadowboxing way more than we remember Impossible. And that's what I'm talking about.
A feature.
But this is what I'm talking about. Well, it's like, really, truth for truth, bar for bar, Mike. As much as you talk about Impossible, you don't rave about Impossible the way you rave about Shadowboxing.
Shadowboxing is one of the best features ever. And like I said.
But, Mike, here's the reality of the matter. It's a better verse than Impossible.
It is.
Right.
It is.
So it's
so
when you're talking about,
but it's arguable though. It's arguable. I think it is, but it's arguable. If somebody said it wasn't, I could go with that too.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, when Ghost pulls the rabbit out his hat, it's great. He doesn't pull as many rabbits out the hat as Meth does. He just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? He makes the better album. He's the better storyteller. Like, even for everything that you're saying, Mike, he still doesn't have a Bring the Pain. As much as I love Ghost, he don't. One's not Bring the Pain, Mike. I'm sorry.
Bring the Pain is special.
That's what I'm saying.
But again, I love Method Man, and you know Method Man is my favorite rapper growing up, right?
Shayla Ghost and All That I Got Is You are great. That shit's not fucking with I'll Be There For You. That's what I mean. It's
again, you're naming, and I love Method Man. He was my favorite rapper growing up, but he has a 30-something year career, and you're naming 2 records.
Those records are better than anything Ghost
has
ever made.
And a Jizza record. And I don't want to throw anybody under the bus because I love both of those guys, but I think the first half of Supreme Clientele is better than Method Man's whole solo catalog.
That's blasphemous.
It's not. It is. You just said it's not.
It is. It's blasphemous.
Name me 9 songs better than the first half of Supreme Clientele with Method Man just by himself.
With Method Man just by himself? Well, Ghost didn't just by himself on those first 9 records, Mike, so that's really not fair now, is it?
Oh, my goodness.
Seeing how Ray is on there, and Meth is on there, and Redman is on there, and Capadonna is on there. Right.
That's fair, but all of those guys are on
and
one
RZA
song.
is on there. No, they're not. RZA's on Nutmeg.
RZA's on The Grain and Nutmeg.
Ray is on Apollo Kids, and there's Buck 50. So 3 of those 9 records you're talking about have help. So that's not fair, because then I can start pulling out, How High. That's what I'm talking.
Saying. You know what? How about we do it like this? Just stuff from Method Man's albums.
Mike,
they can have features.
Mike, since you want to duck the whole Wu-Tang Tribe thing, you want to do a Meth versus Ghost? Because I'll beat you.
Method Man, you're going to play nothing but features. You're going to play the Busta Rhymes game.
Mike, I beat you.
That's what you're going to do. You're going to do the Busta Rhymes game.
I beat you anyway.
You know, when we're talking about discographies, though, this is what I was going to propose. Would you like to do a Kanye versus Jay-Z? Are you comfortable that Jay-Z would beat Kanye in a 20-song matchup?
Yes. I'll take Jay.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'll take Jay.
I'm looking forward to that.
Sick of you talking about Kanye.
I'm looking forward to it.
Sick of that shit.
Now that one I'm looking forward to.
Mike.
So we're gonna take Dr. Dre off the board, and we're just gonna do a Jay-Z and Kanye.
Gladly take Jay.
Okay, great. Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, fellas, to buffer your executive point, we wouldn't have known who Biggie was if it wasn't for Diddy. Real. Big would have just been another nigga on the block that can rap really good, but nobody knows.
That's actually Misa, I think, the stylist that actually put Puff on the Big, that was like, no, like, you make him sexy. We gonna make him sexy because he can rap his ass off.
Jermaine Johnson said, Mike, what's wrong with being Jermaine? There's nothing wrong with being Jermaine. Jermaine's incredibly talented. I think Jermaine actually was I think he was a dope member of the group. Unfortunately, his little brother just happened to be the greatest artist of all time. You know what? A lot of those Jackson songs, the Jackson 5 songs that Jermaine sung lead on, they got cut. Those are really good songs. But the whole tone and
They just good.
They're good songs.
They're good.
They sound like when Jermaine was singing lead, they sounded like a kid version of the Temptations. You know what I mean? But Michael just had a whole different sound. And that's what happened. Jermaine's very talented. Very talented. Playing instrument and everything. So now I wasn't shitting on Jermaine. I'm just saying Juvenile is not Wayne at this point. And Jermaine wasn't Michael Jackson at that point. That's all I was saying.
Back to this whole Ghostface and Method Man thing, though.
Man, listen.
You want to know what?
There's no way you could beat me with Method Man's catalog versus Ghostface's catalog. You're going to have to play like half of features or
part
something.
of your catalog. Features are part of the catalog.
All right, well, I'll play Only Built for Cuban Links then.
You can, but Mike, here's the problem. See, this is what I'm saying, Mike. In a vacuum, first of all, Only Built for Cuban Links isn't Ghost album either. But
it isn't.
But here's the reality of the matter, Mike. The most scene-stealing performance on that album is Method Man's hook on Ice Cream. I believe Ghostface starts that song off, and that tells you everything you need to know about them as MCs, is that Meth can do a hook that outshines one of Ghost's better verses.
What, Coop? I have been very vocal on this show.
And I know how you feel about Ice Cream. Tell me I'm lying.
I love Ice Cream. I love Method Man.
You even tell me the most special part of the song is actually the part where Meth riffs at the end
Wu-Tang
of the song.
Yeah, listen.
But you talking this ghost shit.
Method Man was my favorite rapper growing up. And I've said on this show many a times, nobody was a bigger star in that era than Snoop Dogg, number one, and Method Man, number two. He's a star. He still is a star. We're in 2023.
Top-notch MC.
He's an incredible MC. His feature game is insane. He got on a record with Limp Bizkit and killed that shit over a premiere track with Fred Durst rhyming. Method Man is the truth. But Ghostface, something else. That's just what it is. And that's how strong Wu-Tang is. Method Man got me into Wu-Tang.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
But Ghostface took...
Tikal has held up better than you realize. When's the last time you listened to Tikal, Mike? When's the last time you really like listened to like Biscuits and like Mr. Sandman and Release Your Delph?
Will you at least admit this? Ghostface put the Wu-Tang on his back after 97. After that first round of solo albums, Ghostface put the Wu on his back.
Ghostface made Supreme Clientele.
He did. Around the W time, who was more of a central focus?
Ghost. But I happen to think the W is a severely underrated album.
I think the W's dope.
Yeah. I think that's a dope-ass album.
I think what happened with the W is
like
the fact
Careful
that
Click.
I think everything... They were always going up against time, really, when you think about it, because even when they came in the door, shit was different.
Too much on them.
Rap changed too much on them, and they were coming off of a double disc, and Old Dirty wasn't really involved, so their heart and soul was kind of missing. Yeah, I love that record, too.
That's what I mean. There are records on there.
I know one of the things for me when I first...
Under Wu, the Master Killer, Junior Reed.
Hollow Bones is crazy.
Hollow Bones, that might be the best beat on there. That's the best beat on there. Hollow Bones is crazy.
But who's the scene stealer on that?
See, I like Ray's verse on there, Mike. You're just a Ghost fan.
I think I am just a Ghost fan. I might be more biased when it comes to Ghost than any rapper.
You are, Mike, because every time Ghost rap, you just swear he has the best verse.
I do.
And Ray be standing right there next to him. You be like, nah.
But you a big Ray guy.
No, I give it to Ghost when Ghost is better. Like, I think Ghost has the better verse on Criminology. First of all, son, check the arson. Many brothers I be sparking.
After 97, it's like, it's rare for me that Ray has the better verse than Ghost.
I think Ghost has the better verse on Glaciers of Ice.
Nah, that's Ray to me.
Yeah? No, I love
the way Ray came in Glaciers of Ice.
You're talking about the delivery.
Straight up, yeah. I know what you mean.
I love the way he came in.
Reebok, Guncock, Avalanche Rock, Get Paid Off, Mass Murderers, Services, Chef.
My house bitches start to be home soon. I'm on tour till Catch Me 96 in June.
My favorite song on the whole album.
Man, team be safe. Yeah, I like Ghost.
Proceed with caution when you enter the symphony. Zuri with the $20 super chat showing love. He says, wanted to get y'all thoughts on Torre saying the Hip Hop 50 shows that Tupac is only a hip hop great due to his controversy and his albums, and MC skills doesn't hold up compared to his peers. Example used, Chuck D 3000. He put 3,000 in there. Jay, Method Man, etc. Torre is a Tupac hater because Tupac called him out at the end of his life. And Torre's got to stop this,
Appropriately
man.
called him out.
Yeah, he called him
He
out.
deserved to be called out.
For the subpar journalist that he has proven to be. And the fact that he's still holding on to this, it's clearly personal. Take all that out of the way, Torre, and actually look at the music, look at the individual, look at the impact. You sound crazy. And, you know, usually I try to respect our veteran journalists and their opinions, but it's clear that this is personal. You know what I'm saying? It's on record that Tupac called out Torre. So you didn't like the dude when he was here. That's your personal opinion. Step out of that. Look at the whole game as a whole, man. Like,
the petty level
to sit here and try to compare 3,000 somehow to Tupac is insane.
The petty level is
insane. And, you know, I understand the whole allure with 3,000 because I'm a fan as well. I actually came across on my timeline on Instagram, somebody posted when Outkast was performing on Apollo. They were performing Rosa Parks, and I remember watching that live as a kid. And Andre is rapping his verse on Rosa Parks, killing it. I get it. You know what I mean? I was there too. It's flashy. It's incredible. It's dope. But this is a man who made Dear Mama, Keep Your Head Up. It's not the fucking same.
Hold on.
You know what I mean? It's not.
Hold on, Mike.
It's
I'm not done with this Method Man shit because the more that I think about it, Mike, see, here's the thing about it.
You don't want to do this.
Yeah, no, this is no. I do. I do, and I'm going to tell you why I want to do it, Mike, because I keep telling you this. Outside of Supreme Clientele, Mike, if you go look at most of Ghost's best shit, Ray's right there, and you know it.
You think Ray got a better verse on the Hilton?
I like both of their verses.
No.
I like both of their verses. If you want to give that to Ghost, how about this? Ray's got the better verse on 260, on Iron Man.
Thumbs up in the chat.
He's got the better. I mean, he's got better verses all through Iron Man than Ghost.
He's the better rapper at that point.
So you're gonna play songs where Ray's actually the better rapper and has the better verse sometime, but you're kicking this Method Man shit in his feature game. When most of Ghost's great songs have Ray on them, you know that, right?
And vice versa.
Right, but we talking about Ghost and Meth, and you making it seem like Meth is just some feature artist. I'm like, hold on. What Ghost solo songs you about to play that's really solo missions like that, Mike, outside of one?
Okay.
What you really gonna play outside of one and all that I got?
I mean, listen, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Please show me, Mike.
I'll show you better
because
than I
I
can
realized
tell you.
Something. It's like I got the Blackout album to go off of. I got the Red Man and Method Man collaboration.
I know all this stuff like the back of my hand.
I bet you do, Mike. I bet you do.
I can spit this stuff in my sleep. No, I got you.
You just remember when you're playing most of those Ghostface records that Ray has the better verse on about half of them.
I'm interested to hear what you're going to play against Kanye with Jay's catalog. Are you going to go Reasonable Doubt? I guess.
Mike.
Mall 7 with the
You're going
super
down
chat.
just because I can't stand you and all this Kanye talk. This nigga hasn't even made Mike, the last time he made a good album, we were like in our late 20s.
Mall 7 with the super chat says, Inspector Deck's verse on Above the Clouds, super underrated. It can rival any verse from of the Wu members. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's underrated. I think people give Above the Clouds respect.
I want to do Meth and Ghost tonight.
Do you want to do Meth and Ghost?
I do. Since you keep ducking and dodging this Wu-Tang Tribe thing, you did a whole station head today.
Well, I did a station head. I had the damn computer on, and I was just playing songs while I was working. I got to focus when it comes.
You had time to go into a Wayne diatribe, though. But you haven't had time to organize a list to go against Wu-Tang Clan.
You know what? We should have done that today. I didn't know you were free. That's my bad.
Yes, every Monday and Wednesday I'm free.
But I know the people... No.
Days we do the show.
I think the people would rather us do that like at night, though. Y'all would rather us do verses at night than during the day.
Shit tonight. I'll work on my Method Man list on the way home.
Mitch with the super chat says,
Yo,
Ghost.
Mama don't wear no drawers. I saw him when she took them all.
Mitch with the super chat says, Ghost also has Wu affiliates like Solomon Child, 60 Seconds Assassin, Superb, Chip Banks, Hellraiser, TMF, TMF in the motherfucking joint, and that's not including the Wu members and Redman on Supreme Clientele. He definitely had help.
What's that joint on Capadonna's album? The Pillage Dart Throwing with Meth.
Milk This Cow.
Stop that.
Mitch with the super chat says, Meth on Takao got the intro, Biscuits, Bring the Pain, What the Blood Clot, Meth versus Chef, PLO Style, Mr. Sandman,
It's held up well, Mike.
Stimulation.
It's a great
Those
album.
tracks are fire, Mike.
They
and
are.
somehow you think The Pillage is better? I think we got Method Man in the chat right now.
METHOD, man.
You can play that, actually.
I know.
Hey, you, get off my cloud.
Like, think about this. I got Method Man, Bring the Pain, and I'll be there for you. Like, you don't have that. Okay. And you keep talking that ghost shit. I keep telling you it's Ghost and Ray.
I'm ready to do this, yeah.
Hope you're ready tonight.
Zuri with the super chat says, do you guys think Meth would be held higher if the original version of Tikal came? I knew this was going to be the question.
This nigga doing
original version of Tikal came out. Should they have pushed the album back, or was he too hot and they needed to drop something ASAP? Yes, he was too hot. They had to put out something. I don't like doing the whole revisionist thing where, you know, if the original and this and that came out. Well, what happened with Judgment Day? You know what I mean?
You did the Mike Day midday master mix, but you don't want to do. No, I'm just fucking with you, Mike. No, I keep telling you, if you go back and listen to Tikal, Mike, how about this?
Meth was special.
Here's how I feel about Tikal when I go back and listen to Tikal.
Still is special.
Yeah, always. Lemon's evidence of that.
Mm-hmm.
Tikal isn't that much. How about this? It isn't that, God bless, it isn't that far off from Return to the 36 Chambers by Old Dirty Bastard.
To me, it is.
No, it's not.
To me, it is.
No, because I'm going to tell you what. Because
I know y'all seen my face when he said that.
Because here's the thing. If you actually go look, first of all, Brooklyn Zoo and Bring the Pain are washes to me. I personally prefer Brooklyn Zoo. I think Brooklyn Zoo might be the best solo record that a Wu-Tang artist ever did.
You've said that, yeah.
And I've said that multiple times, and I've been consistent with that thought. Brooklyn Zoo is probably the best Wu-Tang solo record for one song. It's Brooklyn Zoo. Man. Shit wild.
Shit is wild.
But Bring the Pain's close. I told you, it's between Bring the Pain, Incarcerated Scarfaces, and Brooklyn Zoo. Those would be my best 3 Wu solo records, in my opinion. One would probably be 4th for me.
Really?
Yeah, I love One.
I could tell.
Yeah, One's the shit, Mike.
One's dope.
That's
shout out to Juju.
Yeah, the Beat Nuts. Yeah.
I think Mighty Healthy is my favorite song on Supreme Clientele. But it changes all the time.
But here's what I tell you. Outside of Shimmy Shimmy Y'all, Brooklyn Zoo, and Baby Come On, yeah, they're comparable, Mike. And Meth's bar work is actually better than Dirty's bar work album for album.
Well, of course. But it's something about the Dirty version is miraculous.
Right. I want you to think about what your favorite 5 songs are on Return to the 30 version, because I know I named 3 of them: Brooklyn Zoo, Shimmy Shimmy Y'all, Baby Come On. But think about the other 2.
You Don't Know is one of my favorites, man.
Okay. I like Snakes Part 2. And I like Raw Hide.
Raw Hide's crazy too.
See, that's what I'm saying. So
I love Dirty version, man.
So that's what I mean. Is the highs are a little bit higher more consistently, but end to end, it's not that big of a gap as you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? It's really not.
Mitch with the super chat says Tikal needed more Wu members. That was the problem. And yes, Mike, I'm Method Man's burner. Yeah, I figured. Shout out to Method Man. You were my favorite rapper growing up, Method Man. And still one of my personal favorites.
Speaking of Raw Hide, Mike, I believe there's a scene-stealing verse on there from somebody.
Yeah.
Coming
M.A.T.
soon to a theater near you, it be the Wu.
This is what I will say about Method Man.
It's true.
His word placement is next level.
Second to none.
It's like nobody could put words in those places in the way that Method Man does. Like, what'd he say on the W? He was like, "Last Temptation, I'm the son of David Ruffin," that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. And what he said on Reunited, man, like when he came in on Reunited, even though GZA is the lyricist and did what he did, when Method Man comes in, it's different, man. He is a scene stealer. Him and Ghost are the scene stealers.
This is what I mean about.
And Ray is the consistency. Ray is the glue guy in the world.
This is what I mean. Like, so the GZA is Rakim, Black Thought, like lyrically, right?
Right.
Meth isn't that far off of that. You understand that? And with that voice and that delivery, it's like, no. I mean, for somebody that knows his catalog so well and knows Ghost catalog so well, I'm surprised that you're even wanting to take this. You know I can beat you without
You're going to beat me with features and stuff. But I'm down to accept the challenge. No, you know I take the underdog normally.
Okay, Mike,
anyway.
This is what I'm trying to tell you. Mike, what Ghostface songs are you playing outside of One and Mighty Healthy, where it's just Ghostface that's really about to fade these records?
I'm not going to tell my secrets. We're going to have the people tune in. This is what I will say about Meth. And when you said about him being a lyricist on the level of are not far from the level of
You're
the
going to be
Black
playing a lot of Purple Tape to win.
Jizza. I may.
Ain't no may. You have to.
I may. Who knows?
Because Supreme Clientele ain't going to cut it, Mike, because all you got is Mighty Healthy and One. That's not about to win.
That's all Supreme Clientele is? Okay.
I mean, I can beat the stuff on Supreme Clientele, Mike.
Okay.
Some of Meth's best stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you got
for
where,
if you play Shay Shay Lagos, I just played a Rockwilder because the Rockwilder's a better record.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
And I love that album.
It's
no,
not.
It's better. I never was a fan of the Rockwilder.
That's my thing with you. See, you're never a fan of the Rockwilder. The rest of us, however.
I guess so. Microphone Checker, Swinging Swirl Lecture. It was cool. What I was going to say, though, I think where Method Man kind of doesn't register with the Jizza and Black Thought and Rakim is the subject matter. And I think that as great as he is as a lyricist, I think a lot of us would have liked to have heard him take it there in places that some of his peers did from the subject matter standpoint. We've even heard Deck on like Cream go there. Like we never really heard Method Man really go there. I think Scary Hours is one of those times. I remember sticking fiends at the 162 when we were starving, ducking five. And when he does those, it's right, but he didn't do it enough. And I don't know if that's him just being the face and being the star and not delving in too deep where the rest of his band members were doing that. But ultimately, if we're grading and we're rating, I think that's probably one of his, weaker points.
Ooh, Boxing Hand off
I love
Iron
Boxing
Man.
Hand.
Boxing Hand off Iron Man, Mike.
That shit is
That's
fire.
what I'm saying, Mike. Meth is, you're not beating me. Even with the...
Are you going to play Ghostface records in a Ghostface versus Method Man?
Do whatever I want with Method Man. He's all over the place.
He's the feature king. I give him that. And I said this on that show, on this show too.
With Redman?
Yeah. I'm the super lyrical individual. I be spitting through
Red's.
that Teflon material.
That's Red's first.
Yeah, that's Red's first. I had to say that one though. I mean, that was a crazy verse. Shout out to Muddy Waters as well. But yeah, man, he's the feature king. And I said that when people kept giving Busta Rhymes those flowers. I'm like, wait. Method Man has a better feature game than Busta.
Vibing remix.
I mentally stab your brain with the pain. Well, other niggas spit mad game, I spit flame.
Mike, the what? Are you sure you're about to win? I don't think you're winning shit, Mike.
You're going to have to come with a lot of features. I know that.
I know I'm going to win with those features, though. His features aren't regular, Mike. His features are literally some of the best features that have ever been done on the mic.
He's the feature king.
You're not winning, Mike.
I said that. You're not telling me anything I don't know.
See, here's the thing. In a versus battle, that's not about album making. That's about songs, and Meth just has better songs and more classic songs
Meth
than
has
Ghost.
better features.
Mike, it's not better features. It's like far superior features.
Because I'm
going to play a special delivery remix. That is not enough.
Well, I mean, again, I'm going to jot down how many actual Method Man solo songs you play. CJ Kidd.
I'm going to jot down how many Ghostface songs you play that don't have Ray on them. And we'll see who has more, actually.
I can do that.
I guarantee you got to play the Ray records to win. There's no way around that. Because you're going to start thinking about some of them Ghost records. It's like, what you going to play?
CJ Kidd with the super chat says, don't approach me with that rah-rah-ish. You out of pocket. Taking these adolescents back to spot for mentally. My energy is like a figure 8 on its side. That's infinity. Finish the bar. Great shit. Mad Max to the super chat says, Meth is a party rapper. He's Wayne before Wayne. Our producer Ron used to say that. Yeah. Wayne before Wayne. I could see that where it's like, more so about punchlines and not really I don't want to say not really having direction, but just kind of nonsensical bars where things are coming together. He's great at that. And I love Blackout for that.
He's also great at like the formula, like the standard formula style of rhyming too. And like the hook part. And like the intangible part. And like the delivery part. Like he's great at a lot of things. Y'all are wild.
Who y'all got winning this matchup? Because I'm seeing people saying Ghost. I'm seeing people say Meth. This wasn't even on the docket. How do we even get here?
Going down. Because you're Ghost Kanye loving ass. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, those guys are ranked very high when it comes to discography, so that's going to be talked about in a second. I love a great album too.
That'd be a good way to slide. What else do we got to cover? Ooh,
we do got that Muggs to talk about before we get into the discography conversation.
I want to talk about Muggs right quick. Even before we talk about it, let's talk about Muggs' discography.
Yeah, he may jump around. He made
Check Yourself,
Ice Cube.
So, I mean, here's
the
what
foundation for Exhibit.
So he's made 5 EPs, First of all, whoever says Shaky Dog, that might be my favorite Ghostface solo song. That's my favorite shit. I love Shaky Dog. That's his best story to me. But he's made...
I want to say this before we get into Muggs thing. To do the Method Man and Ghostface and to do this justice, I'm really going to have to delve into my Ghostface catalog to do this justice.
See, that's funny. I don't need to do all that.
I know, but I love Ghost so much, I want to do this right. It has to be done right. As Swiss Beats told Crazy Bone, it has to be done right. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, you're full of shit.
Yeah, I got to do him justice.
Do him justice? You mean you got to go find them records and try to win? Okay, it's cool.
I already know what you're going to play, I mean.
And you're not going to be able to beat it.
I should be able to.
No, I doubt that. So, Muggs did, I believe, 10 projects. 5 EPs. There's like 7 Cypress Hill albums, Mike. And then,
he produced all those Cypress Hill albums, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Hold on, let's pull it up right quick.
CJ Kid with the super chat says, in case you guys didn't know, that bar was Method Man Rap Phenomenon. Coop can use that. Yeah, I figured where that was coming from. Rap Phenomenon on the Biggie. Yeah. Born, what was that shit called? You know what I'm talking
Born
about.
Again.
Born
Right.
Again, yeah.
11 studio albums he's produced. 5 EPs. 4 mixtapes. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And 23 collaborative albums with artists and another 7 Cypress Hill albums.
What is the collaborative albums? Is that like the Muggs
No.
Soul Survivor stuff or that's something else?
No,
Okay.
those are the studio albums. So the collaborations are, the first one is Juxtaposed with Tricky and Grease, 2005 Grandmasters with Jizza, 2007 Legend of the Mask and the Assassin with Sick Jackin featuring Cynic, 2008 is Pain Language with Planet Asia, Kill Devil Hills with Ill Bill in 2010, Gems from the Equinox with Mayhem Lauren in 2017, Chaos with Rock Marciano in 2018, Hell's Roof with Little Ito in 2019, Tuez Lost 2 with Mock Homie in 2019, not sure if I said that right, Medallion with Crime Apple in 2019, 2019 Kill 'Em All with Mock Homie again, 2019 Dump Assassins with The God Fahim, that's that joint I was telling you about that was crazy, 2020 Kilogram with Al Davino, Death and the Magician with Rome Streets in 2021. Rammel-Z with Flea Lord, that was dope too. Mile Zero with Yellow Wolf, saw 2021. American Chinese with Hologram, still in 2021. Cartagena with Crime Apple 2021. Gold with Riggs in 2022. Sin Cartar with Crime Apple in 2022. What They Hitting For with Jay Worthy 2022. Champagne for Breakfast with Mad Lib and Mayhem Lauren was this year.
Wow. I hear that him and CeeLo have an album that's confirmed,
Mike,
too.
the studio albums are Muggs Soul Assassin 1, 2, and 3. Dust. DJ Muggs Presents Soul Assassins Intermission. Prodigy had some shit on there. I remember that. Bass for Your Face. Soul Assassins Diadel. Soul Assassins Spanish version Winner. Diaz. Winner 2. Notes and Tones. The extended plays. I'm sorry, it's more than 5 mixtapes. It's 10 mixtapes. It's like, you want to know what, Mike? It's like, when you really think about it, it's like, I know we talk about The Alchemist, and we got
to talk about Muggs.
Because,
he's done it all.
Muggs don't, he
didn't take any breaks either.
There's no disrespect to Alchemist. He don't got no damn jump around.
No, not a lot of people do.
He don't got to check yourself either, in my opinion. As much as I love We Gon' Make It. I told you.
Keep it thorough.
There we go.
Yeah. Mall 7 with the super chat says verse for verse, Method Man beats Ghost. We're gonna see.
We are gonna see.
I think that Muggs, man,
in 2025, when Mike finally finishes his list,
give me some time, y'all. We're gonna get it right. But Muggs, a top 10 producer all time, hip hop.
Look at this list, though, Mike. Who's worked like this?
And I love the people who put in work and who put out music, you know. And again, this is no shade to anybody, but when you see somebody who's putting out that much quality material, it has to be acknowledged. And I think a lot of the times in hip hop, we glorify big moments over longevity and consistency. But based on his track record, it's hard to say that he doesn't deserve to be a top 10 hip hop producer all the time, and he's still doing it.
He's got Insane in the Brain, Jump Around, and Check Yourself. So he's got the classic hits. He's got the work.
Yeah. He's done albums.
He's done albums, EPs, mixtapes, players. He's done underground. You want to know what it is? It's like, I mean, this is what I was telling you beforehand. It's like, no, he just hasn't worked really with any of the heavy weights. Like, he really hasn't done much outside of his own thing, is what I'm saying. He brings people into his thing, but he's, like you said, he's not on Jay-Z's The Black Album.
Yeah.
Nas and Muggs don't have no records together. Big and Muggs never had no records together. Wayne, T.I.
You know who's the only person that gets ranked that didn't have to jump out really is RZA. That's it. But that's because he has all those guys. And he showed his versatility.
Method Man, Old Dirty Bastard, Raekwon, Ghostface. He's not. Why? Why would you go somewhere?
Yeah,
that'd be foolish.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about it. Even with Muggs is that Muggs is from Queens, but he's raised in L.A. like through Cypress Hill. It's like, where's the Snoop record? The Ice Cube record. He's got the Cube record. Where's the Snoop record? Where's the Pac record? Where's the Kendrick record? Where's the Schoolboy Q record? Where's the Game record? Where's the Nip record when Nip was here? Where's the YG record? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like still LA dude.
So why do you think that hasn't happened?
I don't know. That's the most fascinating thing about it, because I think had some of those things happen, we would talk about him that way.
He consistently collaborates with Goody Mob, and I played Decisions today on the station head. So they go all the way back to like 95, 96, and he works with them consistently. CeeLo's on this current one. Him and CeeLo are about to make an album together. Is it one of those things where you think that maybe he just identifies the people that he likes and works with them?
I think so, because he likes the GZA, because the GZA's on Soul Assassins 1, just like Goody Mob is. So I think he likes his CeeLos and his just, he's from Queens, so I think like the lyrical part of him as a producer comes out, and he wants to work with those guys like Crime Apple, who's one part of the Arm & Hammer, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
He's a super lyricist. Rock Marciano, Mock.
Yep.
Like, you look at the people that he's working with, it's like Rome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, no, he's working with the Mayhem Lauren. He's working with the guys that do a lot of heavy bar work. Ghost. Like, so he works with bar work guys, but he hasn't worked with the heavyweight bar work guys, like the guys that get notarized for it. Like, part of why Preem sits where he sits, I told you, that's those Nas, J, and Big records that did that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Pete Rock or Large Professor might be standing there without them records, and Large Professor got fucking Nas records.
Yeah.
He got it. Ain't hard to tell.
But he got them early. You know what I mean? Like, once he got to a certain level, he doesn't have those records with him until we get around to Stillmatic. And I think that, like you said, with Premier, obviously, Illmatic was a foundation, but Nas' like is big for him on that level. You know what I mean?
New York State of Mind might be like the beat that defined DJ Premier's career, and the verses that define Nas's career. Like, no, that's big when you have that
No. But the fact they kept doing
it's a genre-defining song.
Because, again, Pete Rock does have, The World Is Yours, but they didn't go back and do it again.
That's what I'm saying, but he doesn't have Memory Lane and Represent and New York State of Mind and Nas is like, and New York State of Mind Part 2. And
that led to Unbelievable and A Million and One.
Kick in the Door, The Evils, Friend or Foe, State Your Biz.
Tough. Mad Max of the Super Chat says, it hasn't happened because of the NY hate.
Could be possible. Also, too, it's like, are we underrating Cypress Hill, too, in the process? Is Muggs underrated because Cypress Hill is underrated?
I think so. And I think
that
because
has a lot to do with it, too.
And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I respect Cypress Hill, but I don't go play Cypress Hill like that. And it's not because I don't like their music. It's just that I guess, man, maybe it just wasn't playing in outlets when I was coming up. You know what I mean? And I've never heard Cypress Hill on urban radio, or even when we used to watch Rap City and stuff, you really wouldn't see them there. So I think them being underrated, a lot of those things have something to do with that as well.
I can remember when Black Sunday came out.
Mm-hmm.
My
MTV showed them a lot of love, though.
Yeah, I can remember my cousin bought Black Sunday when it came out, and I can remember thinking like, man, these guys are really, really different.
Yeah.
But I really wasn't like up on like that part of West Coast hip hop like that yet either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think like for me, and I think for our bracket, I think a lot of people they're part of that transitional time. Right?
They are.
They're like, look, the first
Early
album released
90s. Yep.
August 13th, 1991.
Yep.
Next album's July 20th, 1993. The next one's October is Halloween, 1995. It's like they're one of those groups they came during the transition, but there's also a part of them that it's like, well, we were 10 when they first came out, so we kind of missed them.
We did.
And they weren't one of the ones that we were taught to go loop back around and go check for like that.
And once their time their prime hit, like, you know what I'm saying, falling a little bit,
right?
They never told us to go back and listen to certain things. Now, we heard Insane in the Brain. I remember when, you know, Beavis and Butthead used to be on, and that used to be one of the videos that would come on and stuff. So it wasn't, I didn't really look at them. I know it's going to sound crazy to people. I didn't really look at them as a rap group like that.
They weren't pitched to us as a rap group, but also, too, like, there's a part of it.
But they are. I want to be clear.
Well, how about this? This is where Mad Max is right about some of the New York bias. Mike, do you know when I realized that Be Real was like a dope-ass lyricist?
Stankonia?
Stankonia, Mike.
That's crazy.
I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, Be
Like,
Real is like, nice.
Yeah.
And so I don't think he never got spoke about like he was nice like that. And this is what I mean about the time of it, Mike. Well, Muggs is coming out with this project as a producer a year before the Chronic drops. Because here's the thing. All their shit's platinum and gold. Like their first album's 2 times platinum and gold. And they're coming out of L.A. But that's the summer of 91. You know what started happening in 92, Mike?
Yeah. Gangster rap. Somebody in the chat was saying that Muggs was doing G-Funk before Dre. That's what somebody said. I got to go back and check that.
He's 55. He's been around.
I got a side conversation real quick before we get on the whole Muggs thing. Somebody brought this up to me.
We already on the Muggs thing.
Yeah. But I mean, before we talk about the album, Corrupt or Pusha T?
His what?
Who's better? Like who should be ranked higher overall? Corrupt or Pusha T?
Oh, Corrupt doesn't have the albums to compete. But it's a great conversation. Lyrically, I might even give Corrupt the slight edge just as a pure lyricist.
Okay.
But his delivery's not better. I don't think his voice is better. We don't know how well he would have done in the group because the group really didn't make enough music for us to find out. Because I do think Dog Food is a classic.
What about the big moments?
I don't think it's better than Hell Hath No Fury, though.
What about the big moments, though?
What big moment are you talking about?
Well, I was thinking New York. I was thinking
okay, that's not grinding.
Explosive.
Okay, that's not So Appalled.
Huh. You don't think, hold on.
Like Corrupt's verse.
Corrupt's performance on New York doesn't supersede Pusha's performance on Grinding? Because that's a solo mission for him.
Okay, you talking like solo mission?
Yeah.
Like what's Pusha's best solo mission as a lyricist? You've offered me something good to think about.
Because The Streets is a mother album was hard. And
No,
then
it is.
also, you know, of course, We Can Freak It, whatever, off of the Corruption album. Dope record.
No. I like the Corruption album too.
Me too.
Those are both dope projects. Neither one of those is Daytona. And I would put them more on the My Name Is My Name type of level in terms of an album. I'm trying to think.
Rambo Rich with a super chat says, Mike, I like your take on most of the time, but not liking Rockwilder is wow. Also, Ye is one of my favorite artists, but versus Jay, don't do it, Mike. Now, I mean, listen, the whole Rockwilder conversation, I get that. I think the reason why I'm not that big on the Rockwilder is because I really love the Blackout album, and nobody liked that album except for that song. And maybe that's just me rebelling against the mainstream pedestrian Redman and Method Man fan. So I don't listen to that song. I click right past it. I go right back. I go right to Mic Check 1 2 1 2. I do. My lyrics is AWOL, batter up, play ball, fuck y'all, analog niggas, we be digital, subliminal command from the 5-star general, attack you from the blind side, invisible, to the naked eye. But yeah, go ahead. My bad.
No, you're all good.
You're talking about Corrupt.
No, I was trying to think of Pusha T's like best lyrical performance because much like Method Man, a lot of his best lyrical stuff is done on the feature or when he's featuring somebody. And so I'm trying to think. He may not have a New York that I can point to as just a solo record lyrically where he flexes on that level. but he has more quality solo records than Corrupt, if that makes sense. So that's why I say it's like, no, Corrupt inherently might be a better lyricist. New York would be your greatest evidence of that. But the overall totality of the MC would be Pusha.
Who do you think has rhymed with more high caliber individuals and been on bigger, I guess, records and had to be in bigger moments? Because they're both very comparable in that when you think about it. Because Corrupt's been on some big moments. Like,
it's Push, though.
It's closer than people may think.
He's got Jay, Sci-Hi, and Kanye on So Appalled. His brother Malice is no slouch on the mic.
No, never.
How about this? Malice is better than Daz as a rapper. That's not even a question.
Oh, yeah, that's not even a question.
That's what I'm saying. So when you talk about,
but he is on a record with Tupac, Method Man, and Redman, too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's just like, Mike, I hate to be the one to break it to you. It's like, well, first of all, nobody you named on that record is Jay. And he's traded bars with Jay on regular.
You don't think Tupac is?
Oh, no. I mean, Pac is.
What are you talking about?
But I mean, but like I said multiple times, he has that one shot with Tupac. It's like, nah, Pusha T got Jay on So Appalled, Drug Dealers Anonymous, and Neck and Wrist. So it's like, Corrupt don't have a three-peat with somebody of that ilk, of that stature. He doesn't.
I mean, he was in a group with Razzcast, Killer Priest, and Cannabis.
That's not Jay.
Okay. Zuri with the super chat.
And how about this, Mike? You prefer Sci-Hi to all those guys that you just named. You know you do.
I love Sci-Hi. I don't know if I can say in good conscience I prefer Sci-Hi over Cannabis in his prime, though. I don't know if I can say that.
Sci-Hi can make a song, Mike, so yes, you do.
I love Sci-Hi. I think he's great, and I think he makes some dope songs, but I don't know if I can, in good conscience.
The shit you be kicking sometimes.
I mean, am I tripping? To the people in the room, am I you hate on Cannabis. Let's keep it real. Add Cannabis to the list. You got Ye.
I don't hate Ye. I just don't glorify Ye.
You hate on Ye,
him.
Kendrick Lamar, and Cannabis. You do. Anybody watches the show knows.
How does that sound?
Zuri with the super chat says, I'm young, 28, so I had to look up Cypress since they don't often get brought up a lot.
See?
Hand on the Pump is fire. Muggs definitely underrated.
Hand on the Pump.
I think he's underrated because Cypress Hill is underrated, like you said.
He deserves. How about this, Mike? As somebody that's a DJ Paul fan, you think DJ Paul's better than Muggs? Because I think
I personally do, but it's hard to say.
Right. I think we might need to do a dig. How about this?
I personally do, but yeah. I mean that's a conversation.
Look at this work.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've always said I thought Prince Paul was the most underrated producer in hip-hop, but it might be Muggs. It might be Muggs.
It's feeling like Muggs.
Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, Juice introduced me to Cypress Hill, the greatest film score I can remember. Zuri with the super chat says, Corrupt has more hip-hop quotables and classic moments than Pusha T.
But that's the thing. Outside of New York,
everybody's saying Corrupt is over Pusha T. That's what I'm seeing in the chat.
It's typical New Yorkers.
Mall 7 says Corrupt's verse on Puffin' on Blunts was crazy.
See, y'all keep talking about the lyrical side. I told you I give Corrupt the lyricist side of things. How about this? Has he made If You Know, You Know?
I call shots around here. Has Pusha made Girls All Pause? We can freak it. You know, like
Runaway.
I would compare Runaway to his explosive verse, and I think Runaway is brilliant. I think the way he took on Runaway.
The explosive verse is so overrated, Mike. It's a bunch of curse words, not to be funny. Like,
fuck a bitch.
Part of why we hold Rakim so high is his ability to elocute a point without having to curse. So don't kick the explosive verse to me like it's some special shit from Corrupt. It's actually one of his
special moment.
It's the song is special, but it's one of his weaker moments. Mike, bitch, nigga, you more of a bitch than a bitch. You don't believe in hitting. Mike,
you ain't like that verse?
No, it's not saying nothing, Mike. He ain't saying shit. It's actually damn near the weakest verse on there. Yeah. What is he saying, Mike? Say his verse outside.
You more than a bitch. Yeah, he said West Coast shit for a fuck a bitch, strip TV, bitch got it, nigga, shut the fuck up, man. I mean, listen.
Right.
It fit the movie.
Right.
What about
when you go back and listen to it though?
Ho a Housewife. His performance on there.
I love Ho as a Housewife.
Yeah, that's on the album.
No,
too.
Corrupt's dope.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not conversational. I'm saying he doesn't have enough material.
He also dissed DMX on
Calling Out Names.
Calling Out Names.
But Push got the Clips material. He's got the Re-Up Game mixtape material. He's got the solo mixtape material. He's got the solo material. He's got the guest appearances. He's got the top-notch A-listers.
I just wanted to put it out
He's
there.
traded bars with Kendrick, Mike. Nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? So he got Kendrick
I feel like Corrupt could trade bars with anybody.
Of course.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that
I believe that he can. I'm not saying it's not conversational. I'm saying I'm giving Pusha the nod about the work and the totality of all the things.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this Muggs album before we get
talk.
onto this discography conversation. What did you think about Muggs Volume 3?
I really enjoyed
Soul
it.
Assassin.
I enjoyed it, Mike.
I did too.
I thought it was really, really dope.
I think listening to it, you kind of understand where Alchemist gets the game from.
It does.
Yeah.
The Street Made record with Scarface and Freddie, we heard that about a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And we were wondering where it was going.
Yep.
This is where it was going.
Yep.
This was it. So that's on there. Boldy showed out on here, Mike.
He did.
Like, this is what I've been telling people. Like, no, Boldy's nice. Like, legit nice. Can give you the whole song by himself in the hook. Don't need help. Don't need help. What'd you think about the Ghost and West Side comparison? And I'm about to tell you something.
I like the song.
I like the song too, but I'm about to tell you something. It's not because I'm about to beat you with Method Man very soon. I thought West Side had the better verse, Mike. Right.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, that's not impossible, but
got to say about
I feel like Ghost at a certain point was so high level that anything that he does at this point, you know, can be perceived as a step down. So
I mean, he is a top 10 MC all time, correct?
I think he could be, yeah.
Yeah. Well, then that's the expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know if he has top 10 capabilities. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be biased.
Ooh, what'd you think about Metropolis with Method Man and Slick Rick?
I thought that was fire.
I
love that combination too.
I wasn't expecting that to go that way.
Yeah.
I was like, how they gonna make that work? I was like, that might be too much swag in the room.
What about the Ice Cube and Ren?
That might be the best joint on there.
Yeah.
I felt that. It was like, no, he cooked that up for them.
Yeah.
That's some West Coast shit.
Yeah.
Is
this somewhere in the album of the year conversation? I know we normally don't do this with compilations and stuff.
How about this? What's the best compilation that you feel like you've heard since we've been here? Is it the Dreamville, Static Select?
It's funny
the
you
Rosenberg,
say that. Yeah,
the Rosenberg.
That was the first
Hours.
one that popped in my head. Was the Rosenberg?
This is better than that.
This is better than the Rosenberg.
This is better than the Rosenberg.
The Rosenberg was really good too.
It was really dope.
Shout out to Rosenberg for that.
Yeah.
But he curated a really good album.
Soul Assassins 3 is better than that, Mike. I mean,
yeah.
First of all, the intro of Boldy James, it's on. That's fire. Sicilian Gold, Ghost and West, that's fire. Your boy Rock Marciano's on this motherfucker stunting. 67 Keys is hard, Mike. The Joker's Wild with CeeLo Green, Mike. You want to know it? I thought about you when I heard that record, and it's like, CeeLo does these records with ease by himself. Unlike
anything.
He's
about to do a whole album with Muggs. He's a musician. He's an artist. He puts in the work. He puts out work, and something needs to be said for that. I wonder why, and we talk about Big Boy, and I get it. Big Boy has stood next to Andre, for his whole career, so people can have like a real side-by-side comparison, verse-for-verse comparison. But why do people act like CeeLo's not who he is? Because whenever him and Andre get on a record together, they're comparable every single time.
And he's definitely had the solo career.
He has. Like, it's not even a question. Even as a writer for others and himself, like, he's clearly the more talented individual, right? And when we talk about rhyming,
he can actually sing.
I think that Dre's probably the better rapper. I give him the edge, but it's not that far off.
It's not a large gap.
No.
Dre has the better voice and the better delivery.
CeeLo has,
he's Method Man in the crew that way. It's like, well, his voice and delivery is better.
CeeLo has a better verse on Get Up, Get Out. Andre has the better verse on Thought Process.
But in both times, not
and
much better.
That's
not
what I was
much better
say.
Either way, both times.
I think the only time and they don't really rhyme together a lot. The only time where Andre clearly had the better verse, I would say, is Trans DF Express.
I can give you that. Mike, this album, the Crazy Horse joint with Rock and Crime Apple.
Yeah.
That shit crazy, Mike. It's Crazy Horse, but it's crazy. The joint crazy. The Metropolis joint we already talked about. The We Coming for the Safe with Boldy. Boldy showed out on this album, Mike.
Boldy's a star, man.
Boldy is a star, but Mike, that dump on him with MC Ren and Be Real and Ice Cube, that is just some West Coast gangsta ass.
This is an album I'm going to be playing for the rest of the year. I
am. Like, I enjoyed it almost. Yeah. I think if I was just putting a placement on it right now, what is our album of the year? Is Magic 2 the album of the year? I don't know. A lot of people feel like it's Mike. We need to go listen.
It's something about this Killer Mike Michael album that just isn't connecting with me to the point where I can just say that it's album of the year.
The fact that we're having this conversation.
I think the best album that I've heard this year, again, is Jay Skis. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. I know people think I'm overrating it. That's the best hip-hop album I heard this year.
So let's just put them all in the hat again. So we got Skis with Abolished Uncertainties. We got Killer Mike with the Michael album. We got
Magic 2.
We got Nas and Hit with Magic 2.
I would put Magic 2 over Michael.
We got the Ransom joint. What's the name of the Ransom joint? Everybody?
I forgot, but yeah,
I don't think so. But everybody keeps kind of putting it up in that stratosphere.
I mean, lyrically, it's what it is.
Lyrically, it's there.
Yeah.
The Genius tape by Love. I would throw in that mix. What else are we missing?
I feel like I'm missing something.
That Russ album, Santiago, is really fucking dope.
Yeah,
Santiago's
it is
dope. That shit rides.
Yeah.
And I would tell you, I enjoyed this upon first listen more than all of those, with the exception of maybe the Magic album and the Mike album. And so I'd put it in that realm with Love and Skeez's album right now. But I haven't listened to Skeez's album in a minute. I do need to go give it another listen.
Because I remember our people were telling us to listen to the Skeez album. And when we did, we were like, oh. And I think
Burner Phone still might be Song of the Year.
Yeah. And honestly, man, like this album and the Skeez album, for different reasons. The Skeez album is probably the only album that maybe I didn't hear on, upon release, where I was like, oh, damn, yeah, I should have checked for that. You know what I mean?
Like we not catching this too late. It just came out August 25th, but it's like when I heard it, like by the time 67 Keys was going off, I was like, yeah, me and Mike got to talk about this shit. I was like, we missed this. We should have covered this when it dropped.
36 Chambers with the super chat says, CeeLo isn't as regarded because he went on to do singing compilations and movies where he blew up bigger to the mainstream crowd than his hip-hop career. So I guess you guys ain't heard The Love Below. Huh?
Does that make him crazy?
But I mean, what was The Love Below? What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Oh, I guess he didn't do, big old words on CeeLo's Perfect Imperfections. I guess he didn't do I'll Be Around with Timbaland, huh? That's a rap song. What are you talking about?
Super Freak.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, Closet Freak, yeah. Or whatever that song. That song was fire.
That shit crazy.
That horn section on that break, that shit is, I heard a version of it. It was a demo version of it. It was slightly different. I think the horn arrangement was different, but CeeLo is a genius. I think that he's so humble and he doesn't carry himself like a genius or do all this mystery man stuff.
Nah, he done had his moments, Mike. Let's not do that.
But you know what I mean.
Let's not do that.
This is what I'll say. He seems very approachable. You know what I mean? Like,
for the most of
you'll see CeeLo, and I think that he doesn't have that aura for a lot of people because of that.
No, see, I get what you're saying. Andre has that too. Andre is super approachable.
Yeah. If you see him.
Because I've approached his ass.
He's kind of like a Where's Waldo type thing. Like,
Mike, he's not that hard to find. That's what I'm saying.
I've never seen him.
Mike, I told you, Mike, like when he was like living here with regularity, I told you I would randomly see his ass about once every year or two, like somewhere, and every time I'd see him, he'd be like, hey, I feel like we've talked before. I'd be like, we just talked a year ago over here.
I love it, man. That's such a dope way to live life.
So Andre is super approachable. It just, how about this? It doesn't have the diva feel with CeeLo because he hasn't been deified like Andre. That's why it doesn't have a diva feel. It doesn't have a diva feel because he hasn't been deified.
He's definitely the most talented artist we've ever had come out of Atlanta. He is. In the hip-hop realm.
Okay. I was about to say, well, Left Eye's not from here anyway.
Left Eye's not more talented than CeeLo.
Eye's
She's talented.
Left Eye's a songwriter, a singer,
She's
and
awesome.
an MC.
Yeah, and he
Don't
is
do that.
too.
Don't do that. Don't
No,
do that. Her hits are bigger.
Are they? What does she write? No.
She wrote most of the first album.
He wrote Waterfalls.
Who wrote Waterfalls?
CeeLo.
CeeLo wrote Waterfalls?
Yes, you don't hear him in the back? Look it up. Look it up.
CeeLo didn't write Waterfalls.
He did. I'm just saying. CeeLo has a writer's credit on Waterfalls.
You know who else has a writer's credit on Waterfalls?
Yeah, but it's not for the vocal.
Left Eye.
Yeah,
for her
because
verse.
he's rapping, yeah.
For the actual verse, Mike.
But he wrote their biggest song, and you want to talk to me about Left Eye's writing? Come on.
He did not write
36 Chambers of the Super.
Waterfalls.
Let's look it up. 36 Chambers of the Super Chat says Gnarls Barkley collabo and CeeLo's voiceover work on the Hotel Transylvania movie, and him hosting The Voice is known to way more people than anything else, Mike. That's why he's known more outside of hip hop. That's what I said, Mike. Let me check too. We live right now. It was him, and I'm gonna get my joint off of airplane mode.
Songwriters say Lisa Lopez and Organized Noise. Don't say no damn CeeLo Green.
Let's see. Let me get this real quick. Waterfalls.
This is wild.
Let's see.
Organized Noise, who also produced the song. Deborah Killings and CeeLo Green perform background vocals.
Okay, yeah.
Ain't no writing
now,
credits.
I think he has something to do with the writing too. Let's see. Produce.
No, the improvised bass line is provided by LaMarcus Remarkable Jefferson. Of Green's involvements, Watkins noted, he was in Goody Mob. We grew up together. We go way back. Sang on the track, and it was amazing. I love his voice.
Okay.
Talking about some CeeLo wrote Waterfalls. Wild.
Well, what did Left Eye write for TLC?
Hold on. You want to know? I don't
because many of those records were written by Dallas Austin,
and
who I think is the most talented producer that we ever had come out of the state.
I agree.
Jermaine Johnson with
Hold
the
on,
Super
him
Chat.
or JD? JD?
I love JD, but he ain't Dallas. It is what it is.
He got the Emancipation of Mimi in my way. So don't be so quick to say that.
He had
because Dallas don't have two albums like that. Dallas don't have two albums like that.
He had Brian Michael Cox and all those guys too.
Like I said,
Dallas
he don't
did
have
it on his
Dallas.
own.
Dallas don't have My Way, and Dallas don't have the Emancipation of Mimi.
Do you want to do a versus with Dallas Austin and JD? You don't want to do that. Now that you don't want to do. You don't want to do that.
Want some smoke in these streets today,
You do not
Mike?
want to do that. I'm telling you.
Want me to smoke all your heroes?
You don't want to
smoke Dallas?
Cool.
Yay.
You do not want to do
Ghost.
that.
Yay, Ghost Dallas. Catch a bad one.
You don't want to do that.
Catch a bad one. What you
don't
gonna
want to do that.
You gonna play some Pink and Madonna records?
Nah, you don't want to do that one.
Playing some rapping R&B shit over here.
I got Motown Philly in the pocket.
You don't got it like that.
Oh, yeah, I got Motown Philly.
We can go whenever you want.
Anything that TLC has of substance.
No, Babyface wrote Red Light Special and a lot of that other shit
he
too.
did Baby Baby and Red Light Special. That's it.
It's pretty damn big.
That's not the biggest stuff they had. What about your friends, man? Jermaine Johnson with the Super Chat says,
what about your choices, Mike?
Corrupt's writing for Dre and other artists have also been added to his resume. Tricky part is trying to qualify and quantify ghostwriting contributions. Yeah, you can't really quantify ghostwriting, actually, unless you got writer's credit. Firebird Phoenix with the Super Chat says, gotta run the Half 100 album, Mike and Coop. Gotta check that out. Can we get to this discography conversation?
Right after we get to Lisa Lopez's.
Oh, yeah. Because I don't know what song she actually wrote for TLC, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, because most of it's Dallas.
Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Dallas didn't write that?
Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
I think
if
she
I
wrote
need it in
her
the morning,
part.
in the middle of the night.
She wrote her rap parts.
No, she didn't. She wrote Ain't Too Proud to Beg, Mike.
No Dallas Austin's on there.
So is Lisa Lopez.
Oh, so his name is on there.
So is Lisa Lopez.
Okay. Find me a Lisa Lopez written record that doesn't have Dallas's name on it.
Girl Talk. Kick Your Game.
Girl Talk?
No Scrubs. She did write No Scrubs with Candy.
I thought that was written with I thought that was Tiny and Candy.
What About Your Friends?
I think the writer's credit you're seeing, Coop, and I say this respectfully, is her rap verses.
First of all, those verses.
I'm just being honest.
You're a hater, and she wrote Ain't Too Proud to Beg. The other group
so
members
you're
said
telling
she came
me,
up with I Ain't Too Proud to
So
Beg.
you're telling me that Dallas didn't do any writing on there?
No, Dallas is a great writer. Mike. I never take that away from Dallas.
Let's just be honest here.
Dallas about to catch this L from JD.
There's no way. No way. No way.
Got plenty of ways, Mike.
No way.
You don't want to do it.
No way. Now that you don't want to do.
I want to do that tonight,
That you
Mike.
don't want to do.
Oh, since you need so much time to dig into everybody's catalog.
No, that one you don't want to do.
Whenever you want to do it. Like I said,
you don't want to do that one, man.
I love Dallas. Dallas
That
is a
one you
better
don't wanna do.
Dallas is a better songwriter than Jermaine Dupri. Dallas Austin might even write a more beautiful song than Jermaine Dupri. But in this format, Mike, if you're taking Dallas Austin's and I'm taking Jermaine Dupri, you're going to catch this body.
Dallas wrote their best song, Creep.
Mike.
He did that.
If you play Creep, go ahead. Watch what happened, Mike.
What you got for Creep?
I got plenty of stuff for Creep, Mike. Creep ain't like that.
That Jermaine Dupri did? Like, what? I mean, I say this respectfully. I love Jermaine, but man.
Mike, I can play We Belong Together. Game over.
Man, please. We Belong Together is not better than Creep, man.
Yes, it is, Mike.
It might be bigger. It's not better.
It is, Mike. I'm sorry. Need to let it go.
That song ain't like that.
Let it go. That's the nostalgia you holding on to.
Not
Mike.
like that.
You gotta update your
I mean,
formulas,
both
Mike.
of those songs are pretty old. I mean, both of them over 20 years old.
But that Emancipation of Me 20 years old?
Yeah, it's not
been
like
20
that.
years?
I never really loved the album like that. And I'm just being honest. Now, I will give him.
You are a fucking hater.
Now, I will say Confessions was impressive.
And My Way, Mike.
Always
You Make Me Wanna, Nice and Slow, the actual song My Way.
Those songs are cool.
Hater.
Those songs are cool. I mean, it was just, I just don't think that they top notch like that. Not when we talking about Motown Philly and Creep, and it's just not.
I mean, I can play Jump and beat those records, Mike.
Jump's not gonna beat anything. All right, on that,
it is, man. Jump is a
on
shit.
that note,
Just Kicking It.
You talking about the OPP knockoff?
Give It To You.
You talking about the OPP knockoff?
Always Be My Baby. Oh, I can beat Creep with Always Be My Baby.
Now,
I got plenty of shit to beat you with.
I still think Creep will beat Always Be My Baby, but that's a good song. That's the best song you've named.
I'm going through this stuff, Mike, and yeah, You Got It Bad. And I mean, You Got It Bad.
Those
Not the record like You Got It Bad, like you about to catch a bad one if you keep playing.
Yo, Rhyme. Do you think these songs that he's named are really that good? I mean, these songs were hits, man, but are they really that good? Yeah, right.
What have you named other than Creep, Mike? And Motown Philly.
I'm not here to.
It's not 1992.
I'm not here to flex.
It's not 92, fam. You named Motown Philly and Creep.
I'm not here to give away all of my stuff. I'm just gonna beat you when we get in the arena with that one,
Mike. If you ever show up, if you actually show up, you might
a crazy
might
schedule these days.
Right.
The top 50.
Hold on. I want a commitment from you about which one of these we're doing first. I want him booked on this. We got a J Kanye. I'd prefer to do that first.
I want to do the J Kanye first.
Shut the hell up about Kanye.
Let's book the J Kanye first. I'm trying to sell tickets. That's the one I want to do first.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We can make this whole Dallas JD thing an undercard that you're going to lose to. You're going to lose. You're going to lose.
Not going to lose.
I can't wait. Can't wait till I beat
that one.
You.
I'm not going to lose.
Because you talk.
I don't even have to play.
You talk about Ghost like Ray's not there. You talk about Kanye like he's some walking deity. He's not. He hasn't made a good album since 2010. It's been 13 years of this shit.
Let's talk about these discographies.
Have the audacity to disrespect Mariah. It's my job to disrespect Mariah. You said Emancipation of Mimi. You said the Emancipation of Mimi ain't like that.
It's just not my favorite stuff from her. Now, if that nigga made Breakdown with Bone and shit, I'd be like, you know what? You got one there. But, We Belong Together and shit, that stuff's okay. Always Be My Baby's the best one you named, in my opinion. That's a great song. Top 50 greatest rap discographies of all time. This was posted by what website? Let me give people credit. Beats, Rhymes, and Lists. So we got a Beats, Rhymes, and List here. So
that's beautiful.
They did the top 50 greatest rapper discographies.
Ooh, beat you.
So they started off with Currency at 50.
I thought that was disrespectful.
Freddie Gibbs at 49.
That was disrespectful too.
Ice-T at 48. Blue. Ludacris. Do you think Ludacris has a better discography than Freddie Gibbs?
No.
Okay.
No.
If we're talking albums, I would say no. But if we're talking singles and stuff.
We're talking songs.
Yeah, we're talking about albums, right?
Well, discography would be the full-length album player.
I'm surprised they put Black Milk ahead of Ludacris.
Does discography, what does discography mean by defined term?
We'll see what they did.
What is it?
And I'm going to say this. Discography means albums, I thought. But I guess it could technically mean the songs too. But what they did was they highlighted the classic album, so I'm thinking they're talking albums.
See, a discography, a descriptive catalog of musical recordings, particularly those of a particular performer or composer.
Right.
So all of a composer's recordings considered as a body of work.
Okay.
So it can just be the song.
It could just
too.
be the songs.
So it's
they
all
highlighted the album,
So
so
it's
it
all
makes
the
me
shit-
feel like
it's-
they're talking about albums.
Right. It's all the shit that you've done, though.
Right. Vince Staple, 44.
That's
Earl
wrong.
Sweatshirt, 43. DJ Quick, 42. J. Cole, 41. Now, that's disrespectful.
That's disrespectful to Quick, too.
It is.
Quick's higher than that.
He is higher than that.
Quick's catalog is
But
like
the fact
that.
that they probably have Kendrick very high and they got J. Cole at 41 is kind of disrespectful. And they said J. Cole has, they named the classics for Cole. It said Forest Hill Drive,
Yeah.
For Your Eyes Only,
Okay.
and The Off Season. They have those as classic albums. I think only one of those. Tyler, the Creator, at 40. Now, you know what? Tyler has a dope discography.
He does.
He has a dope discography.
Do you think his discography is better than Gibbs' discography?
I don't.
All right.
But I
then.
think he has a very good discography. I think Gibbs' discography might be one of the more underrated discographies. Ooh, Rick Ross at 39.
The disrespect is
That's
high.
disrespectful.
That's a top 15 catalog.
Master Ace at 38. Where's Eminem at then?
Whoa.
37
Whoa.
ASAP Rock.
No.
36 Future. 35 Busta Rhymes. 34 Drake. This is interesting.
It's disrespectful too.
33 Danny Brown. Pusha T at 32. UGK at 31. Redman at 30. Lil Wayne at 29. Eminem at 28.
It's very problematic.
How many classics they say Eminem got? Let me see. I was interested. The Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP, and the Eminem Show. Okay. DMX, 27. LP, 26. That sounds personal. Mobb Deep, 25. What do you think about Mobb Deep being 25?
They wild.
Dr. Dre, 24.
They really wild.
He don't really have a catalog. I mean, he does it. He got 3 albums. 2 of them are all-time great, and one of them's not.
I just read the definition of discography to you.
I'm talking about solo catalog.
You were on one today.
I mean, I'm talking about solo catalog. I mean, I'm not talking about what you produce. Then we could put Muggs in there. You know what I mean? Run DMC, 23. Common, 22. I think Common has a very underrated discography.
There are not 21 MCs with a better catalog than Common.
They're not. Let's see who they got ahead of him. Oh, Rakim at 21.
So we're just going to keep on being disrespectful.
Wow, the disrespect continues. KRS at 20. I think KRS has a top 10 or 5 catalog.
Five.
Yeah. Being generous here because we're talking about groups involved too. 19 EPMD. 18 Public Enemy. Damn, man. Scarface, 17.
It's wild in these streets.
LL Cool J, 16.
Scarface is where?
18.
Drugs.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. No. Scarface, 17. Excuse me.
That don't make it better.
LL, 16. Biggie, 15.
How?
Ooh, this one's going to kill us. Missy Elliott, 14. I love Missy, too. I do. Gangstar, 13. The Roots, 12. That's a weird list. MF
Yes.
Doom, 11.
So Rakim is what and Scarface is what?
Scarface is 17.
And Rakim is what?
20.
And MF Doom is what?
11.
I'm out.
Kendrick Lamar's 10.
We done here. We are so done here, Mike. Just
You don't like Kendrick Lamar being 10? You said he has a top 10-ish catalog. And now my
Mike
phone
don't watch
is
the show
tripping.
apparently.
Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, Mike, you be surprising the hell out of me sometimes. You nonchalantly said Confessions is just impressive. Oh, and the Roots are just okay. Did I say the Roots were okay? I like the Roots.
You've been saying the Roots are just okay for years.
I'm
And it baffles me how you love De La and Tribe the way that you do, and like the Roots come up and you're like, yeah, they good.
I think that sonically,
And you like Common too. Like how?
I don't know, man. Sonically, it's like the Roots.
Questlove is doing drums for all these niggas, by the way.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't take me anywhere sonically.
Just stop.
And I love Black Thought. You know how I feel about Black Thought. It won't let me read the top 10. Can you pull it up on your end?
I'd be happy to, man.
It's like, my phone is tripping. Mad Max says, yeah, Coop, I'm out too, bro. They wildin'.
Your phone don't like this bullshit either.
Yeah, man. It stopped at Kendrick being 10.
But
But
that's where we should stop the show.
Oh, no, I think it's back up. Hold on, let's see.
No, Mike. I'd love to do this top 10. Can't wait till they get number 1 wrong.
Okay.
And act like the last 3 years haven't happened in 5 albums. I'm pretty certain that's what's about to happen.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen.
I swear.
Oh, 9 is De La Soul.
That's fair.
It is fair.
That's
Ghostface is 8.
That too is fair.
Tupac is 7.
That's a little low. That's low.
They said the classics he has is Me
Nobody
Against the World,
asked them.
All Eyes on Me, Don Illuminati. Yeah, those 3.
Oh, they're right.
Tribe is
Yes.
6.
That too is that is about right, but it should be like Scarface and Rakim should be here, and so should KRS-One.
Ice Cube's 5.
That's about right too.
Nas is 4.
They fucking up again.
Now, they say the classic albums that Nas has is Illmatic, It Was Written, Stillmatic, God's Son, and Life is Good. That's interesting.
Right. And Magic.
Yeah.
And KD3.
KD3, yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not a big fan of God's Son as an album. I like individual moments on it. So, I mean, to be fair here, I would replace God's Son and Life is Good with Magic and KD3. To be fair. Kanye is
God's
3.
Son and Life is.
You don't think Kanye has a top 3 catalog?
I want to take Nas now versus Kanye because I already know who's number 1 now.
Now, Nas should be. I mean, yeah, Nas should be number 1 here. Outkast is 2.
How?
Well, it says they have 4 classics, which I'm with that.
3 in a push.
You don't think Stankonia is a classic?
When I look at it now, I can say that it's classic, but that's only in relationship to all the whack shit that we've gotten. In relationship to their great shit, it's not. See, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's like, so how about this? I think Stakes is High is a classic by De La because I think it provides not too much of a standard deviation from the other stuff that I consider to be classic. I consider there to be a standard deviation from Stankonia in relationship to the 3 previous efforts. It's just not as fire. It's not. And so if it is a classic, it's a classic on a lower level where the other 3 are on a super high level.
Times are different too, but that doesn't really excuse it. I think the thing is with Stankonia for me,
but Outkast,
that was the first time that I ever skipped through songs on an Outkast
correct.
album.
And that's what I mean. It's like, well, if it's a classic, it's just a classic as opposed to all-time great, which is what the first 3 are. The first 3 are all-time great. The 4th one, it's like, oh, kind of classic. I feel about Stankonia kind of how I be feeling about Graduation sometimes. I'd be like, yeah, it's the 4th best album. It's a classic if you say so.
DFW Herbie with the super chat says Confessions is overrated. Agreed.
In all respect, due like the Outkast, they don't deserve to be ahead of Kanye or Nas or Ice Cube.
Yeah.
In the top 5. If you were going to put them in the top 5, and Jay's number 1, I'm assuming.
Jay is number 1.
That's wild.
They said that Jay had read why they have Jay at number 1.
I'm pretty certain it had something to do that ain't talking about albums. All right. Even though they've been basing this on albums.
Well, they said the classics he has is Reasonable Doubt, Volume 2, The Black Album, The Blueprint,
It's the last one.
and 444.
It's the last one. It's
444 is not a classic.
It's not even a weed plate, Mike. I'll make no good.
Why?
Mike, Donda's better than 444.
I enjoy Donda more.
It's better.
I
you know
think-
how terrible Donda is.
Donda's not terrible.
It
I
is
disagree
awful.
with
It's
that.
awful.
What I was going to say, though, I think that 444 is, in my personal opinion, maybe this is just the era of Jay-Z fan that I am, I think it's probably his third worst album. If
bad.
I had to rank his albums from top to bottom, I'm probably gonna have 444 only above Kingdom Come and Magna Carta. Magna Carta is Jay-Z's worst album. And then I'm going to have Kingdom Come after that, and then I'm going to go 444. I could comfortably say that. So to say that 444 is classic, and I know a lot of people in the room are probably going to disagree with us. They're probably going to say, yo, y'all just want to hear street shit. Y'all don't want to hear him talk about investing and things like that. It's not that. The songs just aren't there. I thought the production was subpar. The flow wasn't there. He had moments on Marcy Me, but for the most part, it's just not that good of an album.
When did this list get done? 2019?
I don't know, man. Maybe they left out all of the Magic 2.
This must have got made 2018, 2019.
KD 2, KD 3. They must have missed all that.
Mike, he clearly has rap's best catalog at this point.
Oh, easily.
Like that's what I mean. It's clear. Like no rappers made this many quality projects. Like damn the classic nature of it. Like we can argue about the classic nature. It's like no, nobody has this many good albums.
And you know what sets him apart too, is the fact that these are solo missions. You know what I'm saying? And when we really start breaking down and start splitting hairs between him and Jay's catalog, and I say that because Jay is the person who is a soloist who does have that longevity and that wealth of a catalog. He has a lot more collabos than Nas does. Like Nas stuff is a solo mission.
How about this? All his epic songs, with the exception of literally a handful, are all really just him. It's like there's Life's a Bitch.
Yeah.
There's Hate Me Now. If I Rule the World. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about collabos because even those, he has 3 verses.
So if we're just talking about him rapping with somebody else,
yeah,
all his all-time great stuff is just him outside of Life's a Bitch. Like, name the other Nas record on a Nas project, because the closest thing I can think of is Favor for a Favor, and I'm not sure if that registers.
It doesn't.
Right.
And I love Favor for a Favor, but it doesn't register.
Right. It's like Life's a Bitch.
We could do a whole greatest hits with Nas where it's just him.
And we can't do that with Jay.
We can't.
And I've always said that.
We can't.
But this is what I was saying early on. Like, no, Mike, it's always been this way. Go listen to It Was Written and Illmatic and I Am. It's like, no, those are solo missions.
You're right.
Those are solo missions. Nas picks 1 or 2 features for an album, solo mission.
And then the hook, too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, his hook game is very
that's
underrated.
What I'm saying. I Gave You Power. That's 96.
Yeah.
Street Dreams. That's 96.
Yeah.
Shootouts. That's 96. That's his hook. The setup. That's hook game. And that's 96 hook game. It's always been this way.
If we were doing like a versus matchup or something, and I play Made You Look, what do you play? If you're representing Jay, I play, and I'm representing Nas, I play Made You Look. What do you play?
I have to play You Don't Know.
I was going to say that's
I don't have a choice.
where I would go.
I don't have a choice.
Is You Don't Know better than Made You Look?
Not to me, but they're comparable records.
I think
it's the. This is
I think You Don't Know is Jay-Z's best song.
But
in my opinion,
and you think Made You Look is Nas's best song. But
I don't know if I think that. And I don't even know if You Don't Know is better than Made You Look. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing about it. Here's where I would separate it again. And this is what I mean about where I separate things with them. Mike, it really is the hook game and the solo mission.
I was going to say that. As a complete song.
Made You Look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Yeah.
I don't know which beat is even better.
That's what
I know which mic performance is better. I know that there's a hook on Made You Look. I would have to say Made You Look's the better song. And that's hard for me to say because you know how much I love You Don't Know. And I think it's Jay's best song.
You Don't Know still plays in the club, and it should.
It should.
It might be his finest moment.
I don't know which beat is better. Maybe the You Don't Know beat's better. Slightly. Not by a lot.
It depends on what you like. It depends on what environment you're in too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if I'm in the spot and You Don't Know comes on, it's like, no, that's different. But it's like if you're riding through the city, you know what I'm saying, it Made You Look, it's different. You know what I'm saying? So it's different feels. But
I don't know. I think, you know what, I'm comfortable with saying You Don't Know's the better beat.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with saying Made You Look's the better mic performance. And obviously the better hook is Made You Look. Well, if there's a tiebreaker.
Well, that's been the difference between them is that we'll go look at Jay's shit. It's like I told you, it's like people be popping up on the hook mostly too. Mm-hmm. Like he'll just take somebody for a hook. You know what I'm saying? And he's cool with that.
When we look at how much writing Nas has done in his career, he has to get this discography spot. I mean, Esquire, we got a lot of super chats here.
You know
Let me
who
get
else
to
is
them
great
real
at the
quick.
solo mission? And this is what I mean. Ice Cube.
Uh-huh.
Ice Cube does mostly solo missions.
Yeah.
Most of Ice Cube's greatest stuff
Is Ice Cube.
is Ice Cube.
Yeah.
The only one that I can think of, one of Ice Cube's best songs that would be the Bonnie and Clyde theme.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Everything else is Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And some of the West Side Connection stuff, like a couple of records like Bow Down would probably
He's
be
a great
on there.
collaborator.
He
And
is.
Nas is too.
Yeah, no, they're both all-time great collaborators, but when you get their album,
Yeah,
you
you
get
get
the Ice
them.
Cube album. You getting the Nas album. DMX
Esquire-
was that way too.
Yep.
Getting the X album.
Esquire with the super chat says, if we're talking strictly albums, including number of classics and I guess conversion rate, Nas, Cass, Jay, Ye, Face, De La, Roots, Kendrick, Common, Tribe. I like that list. Maul with the super chat says,
I like it
Nas,
too.
Scarface, Cube, KRS, Ye are top 5 catalogs.
I would say Nas, J, Scarface, and KRS are the top 4 catalogs. And then after that, I would go to Ghost or Tribe.
Are we counting groups? It's hard for me to count groups. It's like I want to separate that because I've always felt like groups making music is a group effort. You know what I mean?
Okay,
and,
well, if we're doing that, give me Ghost.
and so groups are just gonna make better albums anyway. Like,
Ooh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, KRS, Nas, Scarface, Ghostface, Ice Cube. Those were the 6 best catalogs.
so you think album for album, Jay got a better catalog than Ye?
Kanye's in there.
Because if we talk about top 4 albums, Jay don't have the top 4 that Ye has.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So how do you hold on? First of all, Reasonable Doubt's better than anything that Kanye's made.
Think Reasonable Doubt's better than The College Dropout, hands down?
I was thinking My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but yes. Reasonable Doubt's still better than anything Kanye's made, in my opinion.
Do you think that there would possibly be different opinions out there? I mean,
No. There are different opinions out there now.
Because I think that they're comparable in
the
that sense.
Blueprint, to me, is better than everything Kanye made, with the exception of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I'm talking objectively, not personally. The Blueprint's better.
You think the Blueprint's better than Late Registration, even? If we talk about how it's put together, the songs on it, the big moments.
Objectively, it's probably a wash. That's what I'm saying. It's like I think the Blueprint and Late Registration are comparable in terms of how epic they are. I think My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy objectively is better than that. So I would say if I were like ranking it, it would probably go Reasonable Doubt, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and then it would probably be a tie between the Blueprint and Late Registration. And then I'd tell you The College Dropout's better than the Black Album, and then Graduation is better than American Gangster.
I think, and I think the Blueprint's special moment, all of those things.
Lyrical
but
exercise.
because of Ola Ovito, Jigga That Nigga Jigga, and the fact that I just never felt like Renegade fit on the album, I think The College Dropout, top to bottom, is a better album. Uncle Fram with the super chat. Shout out to Uncle Fram in the building.
Think that's all you want.
I'm surprised about that list. It was created by that page I used to call Beats, Rhymes, and Nas. Esquire with the super chat says, I don't love 444 like a lot of others do, but it's easy listening with replay value. It just lacks greatest hits material or classic moments. And when you're talking about a Jay-Z album, that's a lot to miss. Right?
So it doesn't have classic moments.
It doesn't have classic moments or greatest hits material.
Called the music subdued. You called it easy listening music.
Is that what we listen to Jay-Z for? Easy listening music?
What the fuck is this? Feel It in the Air of the Night by Phil Collins? Like, what the fuck easy listening music? What
Yeah,
kind
like,
of shit is this?
like we listening to damn Slum Village or something. Rambo Rich with the super chat says, Coop, you got to respect Corrupt on Explosive. The cursing is the genius. Who else style the shit out of a bunch of curse words that good? NWA status. I feel you. Esquire with the super chat says, KRS-One has 25 albums, but more than half of them are forgettable. His top 6 are fire, though. Cube's catalog is also very top heavy. America's Most Wanted, Death Certificate, Kill at Will, and Predator. That's very heavy.
But he's also got the NWA stuff. He's
Yeah,
also got the West Side Connection stuff.
those count.
War and Peace, the Volume 1. No, that shit dope. Cubes, yeah. Scarface is the one. That's why I keep telling you. It's like Scarface's catalog is the catalog, Mike. If you want to talk about consistent, like great from end to end, like Nas has the highlight moments and the better material. But I tell you, it's like I think Scarface catalog in a lot of ways is better than Jay's because it's more consistent. Where the bad Scarface album at, Mike?
He has the consistency, but I think
Not the notoriety.
he doesn't have the peaks and the, you know what I'm saying, like the you
Diary?
don't know moments. Yeah, no, I get it. But I'm just talking about
The Fix?
the moments that shut down the world type of stuff. You know, you need, I hate to say it, but you need to get rich or die trying moments,
That
you
East
know.
Coast bias is what it is.
Was 50 on the list? They haters. M Phenomenal with the super chat says,
Was M on the list?
he was on there, he was like 28.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
about fair.
They hating on 50.
M Phenomenal with the
Never
super
thought
chat
I'd say
says,
that.
Watch the Throne versus Distant Relatives. Who wins? I think Distant Relatives is the better album, in my opinion.
It's way better.
All seven with the super chat says, Nas never needed as much help as Jay. He just a better MC and artist. No debate. I mean,
Like, how about
Esquire.
this? How about this? The stuff that Jay would put on his album and claim it as his is the stuff that you find Nas doing for other people, like Eye for an Eye on The Infamous or More Money, More Murder. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jay takes those moments and puts them on his record.
Right.
Nas leaves the record with somebody else. It's like, well, I'm Nas, so I can just go over here and do, you know, this rap shit by myself.
Esquire with the super chat says, example, Mad Villainy is dope, but not an easy listen.
Stop that.
MJ with the super chat says, the game's catalog ain't top 10. The documentary, Doctor's Advocate, Red Album, Jesus Piece, Documentary 2, Documentary 2.5, 1992. Yeah, the game got robbed on this list.
We might have to make our own list, Mike.
Yeah.
This might be the list we need to make.
Yeah. T Nitty with the super chat says,
we're
MCA's
qualified.
catalog is very slept on. It's crazy. Yeah, I think we're qualified.
I think we're
for that.
qualified.
I think we should do that.
Who are we missing that has a great catalog that didn't get mentioned too?
Yeah, who do you guys think didn't get mentioned?
50's not
that
on
needed
there,
to be
so
on
that's
there?
the most glaring omission.
I think the game might be the most blaring omission.
No, 50 in Game, definitely. 50 Game. Cool G Rap's not on there.
Kane ain't on there either.
Kane's discography ain't like that to a lot
It's
of people.
top 50 though.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True. It is top 50. It's
He
Kane.
should get it.
Yeah, it's
50.
Kane.
He wouldn't even be notarized the way he is if it wasn't. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Like,
Mike, you want to know what? It Ain't No Half Stepping came on the other day, Mike. And I don't know, and this is what I'm about to say, I don't know if there's an all-time great song that's a single that has that bar work on it. That's like a hit. Not like a Dead President's hit. Like It Ain't No Half Stepping's a hit. Like big hit. But there's not a song that's a hit like that that's got bar work like that.
you know what? The first one that comes to mind when you say that?
You thinking of some
OPP.
Rakim shit? I'm sorry.
OPP's bar work is crazy. It is a big hit.
I love Tretch. He's not fucking with Kane on Ain't No Half Stepping. Kane isn't a guy on Ain't No Half Stepping. He's the guy.
No, he is.
He's the guy, and it's 4 verses of punishment, Mike. It is punishing what he is doing on this record.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, it's like, it's one of those things. It's almost like, it's like a GOAT flash where it's like, no, this guy can be the greatest person to ever pick up the mic.
Oh, straight
this
up.
is evidence.
This is it.
There's not a record like it, Mike. There's not.
To the Ye and Jay thing. Okay, if I say Reasonable Doubt's number 1 of their discography, I'm okay with that.
Because it's true.
Objectively speaking, I might have to say
The next 3 or Ye.
It might be. Because if the Blueprint is Jay's second best album, I think we all feel like that's what it is, right?
Some people think it's the Black Album, but they're in the minority.
Yeah. I mean, I could go either way. I think that the College Dropout's better in the end than the Blueprint, in my opinion. And I think that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy objectively is a better album. And I think Late Registration is the conversation. I would put the Blueprint over Late Registration. So I would end up probably doing Reasonable Doubt, College Dropout, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, The Blueprint, Late Registration, then the Black Album, and then Graduation. All great albums, by the way.
Okay. And so you're saying it's comparable is what you're saying, but you give Kanye the slight advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, then there's the whole MCing part of it, Mike, and that's where Jay wins.
But then we could go to the hits on those albums, and I think Ye wins that. And then we go to, because if we go to the production of it, Ye wins those too. Because, yeah, clearly Jay's strong point is the MCing, but then we start talking about which album's better produced.
Definitely going to have to wax you and teach you a lesson, Mike.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this one, man.
No, you're not sure.
Because when I play Jesus Walks, what are you going to do with that? Like,
play the Evils.
Yeah, Jesus Walks is better than the Evils.
No, it's not, Mike. What the fuck are you smoking?
Come
what
on.
the fuck are you smoking, Mike?
Come on.
What is wrong with you?
Great record.
Are you tripping right now?
Jesus Walks is epic.
You think Jesus Walks is better than the Evils?
Mm-hmm.
What in the hell is wrong with you, Mike?
Put it in the chat. I want to see y'all poll this
now
one. Let's poll this one.
Now I want to smoke you, Mike.
Let's
now
poll
I'm gonna
this
have
one.
to beat you. I'm gonna have to beat you.
Let's
good.
poll this
I'm gonna have to beat you good.
I gotta really dig for. I know what
you think.
I know what
Jesus
direction
Walks,
you're gonna go because
think
I'm not
Jesus
gonna get.
Walks, you think Jesus Walks is better than the Evils by Jay-Z?
I think if we're playing this in this setting, yeah,
about
Jesus
its
Walks
whereabouts,
wins that.
I wasn't convinced. I kept feeding her money till the shit
started
to make sense.
Yeah, I know the record.
Who could ever foresee? We used to stay up all night at slumber parties. Now I'm trying to rock his bitch to sleep.
Say, yep, Jesus Walks is better. No, it's not, Mike. Yes, it's better. The Evils is better. Yeah. I want to see what people. We're gonna get this one up to about 50 votes.
Mike, we can go get.
Let's get this one up.
I need 215 people.
You need everybody to vote. We need more people in the room.
Oh, Mike, you're getting beat.
So if we talking about top 5 discographies, we can do this now. I got Nas number 1.
Yes.
Are we including groups?
Yes.
Okay.
I think if we're doing a 50 list, then we have to include groups.
Where does Outkast fall in this? In your opinion?
They would fall after Tribe about the fact that Tribe made an album that was pretty dope late.
Straight up.
I'm with you. If we're being fair.
I think Tribe probably has the best group catalog.
But only about that last album that they made. Like, that was the separation. Nas is first to me, too. I would like, for me, it's Scarface. Scarface is second to me.
Over Jay?
From beginning to end, Mike. That's what I mean, from beginning to end, yes. Because he doesn't have no fucking 444 or Kingdom Come. He don't. I'm sorry. He don't. Go find it.
Now, I got to be fair, and we did say discography, and discography is everything. So even on some of those albums that I don't love so much from Jay, even Volume 3, we got Big Pimpin'. We got So Ghetto. We got, you know what I mean, Do It Again.
Yeah, he's got,
and
he's got
always, and you know what? That's one of the reasons why I come down so hard on 444, because that's one of the few Jay albums that he doesn't give you any real memorable moments. Because even on some of the whack albums, you get memorable moments. The Kingdom Come album, you get memorable moments.
First of all, Mike, 49 votes. You're losing 59% to 41%.
Oh, okay. Still got time to come back. Marvel the Super Chat says, Cool G Rap's catalog is top 10 easily.
See?
Live and Let Die is a classic album no one really heard.
Road to Riches, Dead or Alive.
Spotify even removed the album because of certain songs.
Yes.
Esquire with the Super Chat says, y'all like Hell of a Life and Lost in the World? I like Hell of a Life. Don't really love Lost in the World like that. But I respect it. I understand where it's coming from.
It's okay. So here's the thing: Jay's a better song maker, as in Jay has the bigger songs. But this is what I'm saying: Scarface from beginning to end. Although he doesn't have a Reasonable Doubt, he does have the Diary, which I think is pretty damn close. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a Blueprint, but he's got the Fix. No, that's pretty damn close.
I think the Fix and the Blueprint are very comparable.
Me too.
To be honest, I mean, I would still pick the Blueprint, but it's a conversation.
He's got the Black Album. He's got Mr. Scarface's back. See, but after that, well, Scarface got Untouchable. He's got the My Homies. He's got Made. He's got Emeritus. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what critics will say, the hits.
Well, so he's not a hit maker, quote unquote, but this is about discography. He does have Smile with Tupac. He does have Hand of the Dead Body. He does have Mind Playing Tricks on Me. He does have Let Me Roll. He does have Going Down. He's got Look Into My Eyes. He's got Fuck Faces. So he's got shit. You know what I mean? Let's not make it seem like he don't. He's got the classic albums. He's got the classic guest appearances. You got Jay and Nas on his resume for guest appearances, and Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And Bun. It's like he's got classic guest appearances. He's got classic albums. He's been the most consistently great rapper I've ever seen. Like, he was great. Mike, he was all-time great when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I was a full-grown man, he was still all-time great, and he was great the entirety of the time in between. Something needs to be said for that.
I agree with that. And Deeply Rooted has just celebrated an anniversary, too.
Deeply Rooted is great. That's what I mean, Mike. He doesn't make an album that's not a 4.
It's fair.
He doesn't make an album that's not a 4.
I would still...
So he doesn't have the lulls that KRS and Jay have. I'm going to give him the edge for consistency. Been more consistent than Ye, too. He's been more consistent than Nas has, too.
Yeah, he's been more consistent than everybody,
right.
I think.
And this is a discography conversation, right? In the end, if he's the most consistent guy rap has ever seen, then like, yeah, he top 3, 4, 5, easy.
Does he take chances, though? I mean, I'm just being devil's advocate.
I mean, first of all, I find somebody that's been talking about mental health awareness and issues literally since 1990 to be kind of like taking a risk.
I mean, but I'm talking about like sonically.
He's got Mary Jane, too. That's what I'm saying. It's like, no, he's got shit. A minute to pray, a second to die. Does he take chances as an artist?
I mean, sonically, like, because when you bring up Ye and his lack of consistency, he's taking a lot of chances.
See, I think the transition after The Diary was him taking chances because he started doing like other shit that wasn't so Houston, Texas oriented.
Right.
Like sound wise, like the fix, like sonically, is literally totally different than the guy that I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
Like totally different. So I mean, it's like, no,
I like the fix a lot.
No, I love the fix. It's like, how about this records like In Between Us with Nas and the joint with Beanie and Jay.
Guess who's back?
Guess who's back? He wasn't making records. He didn't make records like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no. So it's like, yeah, he switched it up enough. It's not maybe to Kanye's artistic level, but he's been more consistently great than all of these guys. That includes KRS. That's Jay. Yeah, he's been consistently greater than all of these guys.
So this is the thing.
Doesn't have no.
And I gotta be objective here. I think the only Kanye album that didn't get any level of praise is the Ye album. You know what I'm saying? Like the one Kanye album that we could say just wasn't it was when, you know, that 7-song thing or whatever. The Ye album, no one talks about that. Yeah. Now, Donda has its fan base. It has its following. 808s and Heartbreaks has its following. Life of Pablo has its following. Yeezus has a huge following.
I don't know why. They need to stop.
But I'm just saying, it's like that's when an artist takes chances and taps into things. It's not like he doesn't have the Idlewild in his catalog. And we got to be real when it comes to cast, too. We got to count that. That's part of their discography.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Scarface. Mr. Scarface is back, 1991. The World Is Yours, 1993. The Diary, 1994. The Untouchable, 1997. My Homies, 98. Last of a Dying Breed, 2000. The Fix, 2002. Balls in My Word, 2003. My Homies Part 2, 2006. That's probably the weakest one.
Mm-hmm.
Made, 2007. Emeritus, 2008. Deeply Rooted, 2015. Then you go back to the Ghetto Boy stuff with We Can't Be Stopped. It's like, no, that's...
He has an incredible catalog.
That's great. Like, literally, like,
second all time?
Huh?
Second all time great.
Where's the lapse?
Well, I think the thing is, it's like, not a lapse per se, but it's like the big moments that somebody like a Jay or Ye may have.
So, let me get this straight. He's got Smile with Tupac, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got multiple records with Jay.
Yeah.
He's got multiple records with Nas. And those are the 3 guys that we talk about the most as all-time greatest MCs.
He's a part of that as well.
That's not big enough for people? Because how many other guys... How many other guys... Mike, how many guys you know walking around that Pac, Nas, and Jay fucked with him like that?
Of course. He's a legend. He was there before those guys.
Add Ice Cube to that list.
Of course.
So when you're talking about the moments being big enough,
yeah.
Well, he stood next to all the other guys that were titans in the game with the exception of Big during his era. So it's like... that ain't
I
big
agree
enough
with
for
that. I just don't think they're Jay-Z big moments, though.
That's what I'm saying.
In my opinion.
But that's New York bias again. That's what I'm saying.
Think so?
Think about this, Mike. How about this? It's like if Scarface is from New York, Hand of the Dead Body with Ice Cube is so much bigger than what it is. Never seen a man die, Mike? Like what? Like
incredible record.
I'm sorry, like you want to talk about a moment. It's like, why don't we talk about that song like on the way that we talk about a Dear Mama? or Dead Presidents or The World Is Yours.
I feel like we talk about it like we do Dead Presidents or World Is Yours.
We do, but why is it not talked about on that level of the record?
I agree
because it's that kind of record, isn't it?
It is.
So he has all the things just because he's not
I think it's a better record than all of those except for Dear Mama. In my opinion.
I actually agree, Mike. I agree.
Yeah.
I've never seen a man die is better than The World Is Yours and Dead Presidents to me. It's incredible.
And that's saying a lot.
It's incredible.
It's saying a lot.
That's a lot coming from you and me. Because you talk about Dead Presidents all the time. I talk about The World Is Yours all the time.
No,
Objectively, Never Seen a Man Die is a better record. It's different.
I don't think anybody but him can make that.
So if he has all the big moments, he has the big albums, he has the guest appearances. He look at the people.
I can't put his discography over Jay's is what I'm not able to do.
If you want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah.
I can, because here's the thing about it. No lull. Like when people, how about this? When people talk about Mike, what they talk about? Mike's 6 for 6. When you talk about Mike to his competition, be like, Mike's 6 for 6.
I think that's an overblown thing.
First of all, being 6 for 6 in the NBA
finals
it's not overblown.
That is
not overblown. That is wild.
This is what I'm gonna say.
He's 6 for 6 with no game sevens, Mike.
I'm not saying that Michael in that way. I'm saying that's not the way to define Michael's greatness.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, but that's one of those
they
things.
Always go to that.
How about this? But
you know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is that go pull up the finals records of his contemporaries. That is the separation, Mike. It is 5 and 4. Magic is 5 and 4.
But look who Magic was playing.
Look who Magic was playing with. He had Kareem.
I understand, but he was playing against a Celtic team.
Bird is what? Bird is 3 and 2.
Yeah, because they were playing against each other. And I love Michael. And, you know, Michael's the GOAT. In my opinion, the greatest basketball player I ever seen. But those teams that Magic and Bird were playing up against is not the Trailblazers, Suns, and Utah, respectfully.
You're sleeping on that Suns team.
Those teams were really good. But those
Suns team is great.
Yes, but they're not.
Great.
80s Celtics, 80s Lakers, great. Philadelphia 7. We were just talking about those teams. Those teams would beat the Spurs in the 2000s.
Whoop the Spurs.
You're not going to go 6 for 6 in that era. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm just saying. That's why I say I just don't think that defines everything.
But here's the reality of the matter. Oh, he helped end all that, though, didn't he?
He did. I mean, those guys were gone.
Part of the ending of that. He's part of the ending of that.
They left the league, too.
No. They were. Isaiah Thomas was still playing.
He
beat Magic for his first ring. Bird was a shell of himself. But what I'm saying is that, first of all, that's not Mike's fault.
It's not.
But the separation.
But I'm just saying the fact that people parade around the 6 for 6 against his contemporaries.
But they parade around the 6 for 6, Mike, because it is the separating point. Because nobody else can say that. That's why I'm saying, no, the separating point is that, like, I can look at Scarface's catalog. It's like, now show me where Kingdom Come is again, Mike, since you have Jay-Z ahead of him. Show me the 444, because you can't rationalize that. Because that doesn't even exist in Scarface's realm. That's why I'm saying you're looking at the moments and the nostalgia of it. And what I'm trying to tell you is that that's part of that East Coast bias. Had Scarface been from New York, no, the Diary would be looked at the way It's Dark and Hell is Hot is looked at, because it's a comparable album. It's Going Down and Never Seen a Man and Hand of the Dead Body would be epic the way Dead Presidents and Feeling Like, no, it would be the same thing. And no, I'm not giving that up.
Jay put himself in this arena, but Jay had to make hits. Each album that
he didn't have to do anything.
I mean, to be the artist that he wanted to be and to be the flagship artist on the record label that he owned or was a partial owner of, he had to sell records, right? So he went out there to make hit records. And when you do that, you might miss sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not making excuses, but we see what Jay can do when it's time to just make an album. Look at American Gangster.
So what you're saying is, and here's pretty much what you're saying. You're saying the guy that showed up about 5, 6, 7 years before the guy and was all-time great before the guy ever showed up, and was great while the guy was here, and all-time great while the guy was here, and was all-time great even later with Deeply Rooted, as opposed to 444, that guy deserves to be behind the other guy because his moments weren't big enough for you? Is this the lesson that we're teaching?
Well, rank their albums. You put their catalogs together, rank their albums then.
Oh, I think the only thing that Jay has done better than The Diary is Reasonable Doubt, and it's not by a lot. Like, it's a barely for me.
You think The Diary is better than The Blueprint?
Yes, always have.
Our man with the super chat says, with the super chat says,
damn sure ain't no whole lot ho veto on The Diary.
Now we're going to bring it up. Peace with the Ahmad with the
jigger
super
that
chat
nigga.
says peace.
No.
If you take Ye and Blaze off of the blueprint, how good is it really? That's taking a lot off. And it's Jay's second best album. The mic performance is not there all the way. Okay. You guys had the Evils over Jesus Walk 58% to 41%.
Easy money.
Let's see.
That was easy money.
T Nitty with the super chat says, "Why y'all disagreeing? The MC8's catalog. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is fire. No, I'm sorry. He
Nobody
said
dissing 8?
MTDB is fire.
Nobody dissing 8?
No, we love MC8.
Yeah, we come strapped.
So you got Scarface catalog number 2 all time,
Mm-hmm.
just based on the album for album work. Do you think that in a versus matchup, Scarface could beat some of these people that we're talking about?
I'd like to see him and Ice Cube, but probably not. But that's about the format, though. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, how about this?
Because I'm just thinking of things.
He's even more of an album maker than Kendrick is.
Let's talk
Like,
about Kendrick.
You know
and
how
his
people talk
album
about
making.
Kendrick's album making? You mean Scarface? Right.
You think Scarface is a better album maker than Kendrick?
Well, we had Mike. I just read the albums out. There's your proof.
I would like for the people to
Just read the
chime in
albums
on
out.
that. Yo, Ron, can you poll the people on that? Who's a better album maker, Kendrick Lamar, Scarface? I'm really interested to hear what the people have to say because I've been listening to Kendrick's whole catalog today.
50 votes, 60 votes.
Yeah, we'll stop it at 50. I kind of spoke on this a little bit earlier in the show. But yeah, I felt like Good Kid, Mad City was kind of like, okay, this is my introduction to the game. I really felt like it was more of a get rich or die trying approach. He was there in it, but I think that there were some things to kind of be palatable to what was going on in music, which is fine. And I do think that that's probably why people hold that album as his best effort. Section 80 was him, just pretty much introducing himself into the game,
That's
right?
the kid from Compton. Right.
Exactly. That's K-Dot. To Pimp a Butterfly, to me, was him trying to make a statement. Even when I go back and listen to it now, I hear the hints of Chuck D, Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Like, and with the musicality part of like what Outkast and, Kumina and things of that nature. But Damn, to me, kind of stuck out in a sense where it felt like he didn't have all those other constraints, and this was kind of Kendrick Lamar finally making the album that Kendrick Lamar wanted to make. Now, granted, I think it's probably his third best effort, but it says a lot that he was able to put that album together. There's really no help on there either. I mean, other than hooks and stuff like that. That's the album that I would say is Kendrick Lamar's sound. Like, what would you say Kendrick Lamar's sound is? Like, if you had to describe
Good
his
Kid,
sound.
Mad City, Mike.
Really?
I keep telling you that.
I don't feel like that's his sound. I feel like that's Dre to me. Even though Dre didn't produce it, but you just feel hints of Dre all through that album.
Well, please go hint back at that shit then.
I think it's the most palatable effort. You know what I mean? And
with all
Mr.
that-
Morale.
But that's what I'm saying, Mike. Like, listen to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to all the rationales you're breaking down about the album making. It ain't like that with Face. It's like this shit right here hard.
What I think what Face did,
like this hard right here.
I think what Face
The
did
end.
is similar to what Currency does, right?
No, it's not. It's way
No,
bigger.
no.
It's way better.
I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is the fact that Face knows who his audience is, and he makes music for his audience, and he's consistent with it. And it's like with people like Jay and Kendrick, they have the pressures of making the biggest effort of that time or that year. So their approach is different artistically.
You know, Scarface has a lot of gold and platinum plaques.
He does.
Okay.
He's in Texas too. You know what I'm saying? Like, Texas supports their own. Bun B just talked about it. You know what I mean? Texas' second biggest state in America. Population, it might be. Yeah, I think California's still population bigger. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, they got numbers. You can go gold in Texas alone.
I thought it's the third biggest state after Alaska and California.
Nah, Alaska, we talk about land mass. I'm talking about population.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, because we're talking about numbers and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you can go gold in Texas alone.
Face.
M Phenomenal with the super chat says, Coop, when you speak on New York bias, are you speaking about media or people?
Both.
Also, what's wrong with
Mostly
regions
media.
liking a certain sound?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's part of what hip hop is based on is regional sounds, translating. I think it's mostly media. It's some of the people too.
Zuri with $20 super chat showing love. He says, that's not NY bias, Coop.
Yes,
Face
it is.
simply doesn't have big radio singles. Dozens of NY MCs who have classic work that didn't blow up. His biggest single is Smile, and that's mostly because of who was featured.
Hey, let me ask.
And when it got released.
Let me ask Zuri something right quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's this group called Wu-Tang Clan. They really didn't make a lot of big hit records either, Mike. Right.
But they got a big star in there. You just alluded to that earlier in the show. They got Method Man.
Mike.
I don't feel like if Method Man was in Wu.
Now you wanna pull the Method Man card on the other side.
There's no pulling the card.
I
just talking about Method Man being a star.
No. See, they're talking about the hit making going on. Scarface don't make hits like that. Neither does Wu-Tang Clan out of New York. But what?
What hits did Wu-Tang have, Coop?
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I'm just saying. Cream. Who's on the hook?
Meth.
He matters.
Okay.
MET HOD. That's
okay.
their,
that's what I'm saying.
All their hits are based on the fact that they got that star in the group. So
that's what I'm saying.
That's why Wu-Tang.
So Never Seen a Man Die isn't comparable to Cream? Yes, it is.
I think so. But Method Man's a star.
Tupac on Smile. Right. That's what I'm saying is it's like, no, it's comparable. That's that New York.
You think Smile is comparable to Cream?
No. I think Never Seen a Man Die is comparable to Cream.
Okay. I agree.
But what I'm saying is that, like, no, he's done stuff. Like, he might not be the star that Method Man is, but Wu-Tang never made hits like that, Mike, and nobody in fucking New York cared about it nor asked them to make hits. You understand that?
I'm gonna.
So I don't want to hear. No, I don't want to. It's kind of funny how, like, you can be deified and be all-time great in New York and not make hits like that. Jada Kiss. Yeah. Wu-Tang Clan.
Now there you got a point with the Jada
Kiss. Wu-Tang Clan. The Locks as a whole.
Okay.
Right.
I'll give you that.
You can be deified and be a legend, but when we talk about Scarface, it's like, oh, he didn't make hits like that.
Didn't make radio
so do a lot of the niggas that you love up there. That's part of the bias that I'm talking about.
This is what I will say when it comes to Wu-Tang.
Listen, Mike, think about how people talk about Big L in New York.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Think about people talk about L.
Now, I will give you the Jada Kiss and Big L conversation.
How many hits did Pun make while he was here, Mike?
I give you that.
How many hits did Pun make while he was here?
You're right.
So don't tell me this fucking bias don't exist. I get so tired.
Now, I will say Pun does have a big hit with Joe.
Pun got, I said,
the
how
singer
many,
Joe,
I said, how
Joe.
many hits did Pun make while he was here, though?
Do you think that Still Not a Player is bigger than any Scarface song? Though?
Probably.
Yeah.
But is it better?
Like, but again, you're right with the Big L and Jadakiss thing.
Right.
Though. Now, I give you that.
Miss me with
now,
that
my Wu-Tang
Mike, De La Soul ain't make hits like that, Mike.
They got Me, Myself, and I. But my dispute with the Wu thing, how many hits does Wu-Tang have that doesn't have Method Man or Old Dirty involved in, like, the hooks and stuff? Because I feel like that group success looks way different without Method Man or Old Dirty.
I mean, shit, a Wu-Tang record?
Yeah.
Can it be all so simple?
I don't think that's a hit on that level, yeah.
Right. Like, I'm trying to think.
Their notable records got Method Man or Old Dirty involved. And they're stars. Like, and all of those guys are stars, but you know what I mean.
It's Yours? Or is either one of them on It's Yours?
I love It's Yours. They're not, but that's not that big.
You know what I mean?
And I love It's Yours.
So it's kind of
fun.
Like, you see how it matters that Scarface doesn't make hits, though, but I can give you an example of plenty of people who get, Mike, not to be funny, it's like, where Mobb Deep hits at, you know how I feel about Mobb Deep. Where Mobb Deep hits at.
I think Shook Ones and Quiet Storm remix.
Are those hits, though, Mike? Quiet Storm remix is a hit, so you had to get Kim.
Got to get Kim.
But you just bringing up how Scarface had to get Pac. Are you seeing the bias now?
I can see that.
You see how
that's a fair point.
You see how New York media and sometimes the people will change the narrative to try to make it befit somebody else, but then won't put the same shoe on their own motherfuckers. So I don't want to hear this Scarface ain't make hit shit. Y'all deify plenty of niggas up there ain't make hits like that. Mike Kane and G-Rap ain't made hits like that. Scarface got more hits than Kane and G-Rap. How about that?
More hits than Kane.
Name the Kane hits, Mike. I can name you the Scarface ones.
You just said ain't no half-stepping. Smooth Operator.
Raw.
Hold on, let me get some of these super chats.
Right.
Esquire with the super
Right.
chat says, Section 80 is Kendrick's formative sound. Lo-fi production with storytelling. I'm glad that Esquire's in here. Says it has 2 of his top 5 to 10 songs. And ADHD, I agree with that. I love ADHD. And High Power, conceptually. It sets off the connective thread of each album through Damn. Okay. I think that's a pretty good breakdown, Esquire, and he claims that he's not a Kendrick fan. That was a great breakdown.
Big fan.
MC with the super chat says, Wu-Tang are bigger internationally than they are in the U.S. Firebird Phoenix with the super chat says, I don't listen to Kendrick, but he is a killer with it. Face Mob's different, though. I hear music in a way you haven't, to hear music in a way you haven't in a while, tap in with half 100. He promoting. Zuri with the super chat says Wu-Tang had more hits than Scarface. They made more radio songs. How is this a debate?
Name them.
NY preferring NY artists isn't a bias, it's a preference. The South does the same thing all the time. We do.
No, name the Wu-Tang hits like that. Like Mike was saying, it's like name them records that don't have meth on them.
Maul with the super chat says I agree with
Protect Your
Coop.
Neck wasn't getting played down here, Mike.
It wasn't. I used to get looked at funny for listening to Wu-Tang. And I was listening
Like
to
I didn't hear Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with till the video came out.
Maul with the super chat says, I agree with Coop. NY bias is real. Scarface should be one of the biggest artists ever in the game. Too many of his songs just hit home. I will say this. If Eminem made the songs that Scarface made, we'd be talking about him to this day on a mainstream level.
How about this, Mike? Where KRS's hits at? We don't say that about KRS.
He got
So it's
Criminal Minded, MCs Act Like They Don't Know, South Bronx, The Bridge Is Over. These are like more core hits, though.
These ain't hits like that, Mike.
Because one would
Those
say...
are classic songs. They're not hits.
Rapture. And then he did the Rapture with Diddy. You remember that?
Right.
That shit was
But what I'm saying is that these are classic rap songs you're naming. These aren't necessarily hits. South Bronx is a hit.
Yeah.
For its time. But what I'm saying is that, well, y'all don't do that with KRS or G-Rap or Kane or Wu-Tang or Big L.
The Big L thing you said is big. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But when
Big L and Jadakiss.
But when Scarface pull up, he ain't got no hits. How about he make better albums than all of the motherfuckers that done came out of New York except for Nas, though?
You made a good point when you said Big L and Jadakiss. I agree with that.
The truth.
Because the Jadakiss thing is something that we always talk about. Like Jada's great, but where he lacks is that album making, and no one really holds that against him.
I'm not being funny when I say this. Nobody is walking around with more quality albums than Scarface, except for Nas. And it took this run to solidify even that part of it.
I think Common is up there too.
Ghost is up there. Common's up there. Ye is up there. Jay is up there. See, with Jay, it's the gravity of what he did. Because actually, if you go look at like Common shit, Kanye shit, it's kind of like you could even make an argument that they should be ahead of Jay. It's just those moments that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But if you're just talking about album for album for album for album, Scarface.
You know, I've said this about Common too. I feel like if Common was from Queens or Brooklyn, we would look at him different.
Scarface and Common and Ice Cube were from New York, we'd be having a whole nother conversation about this list. It wouldn't be Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, Tupac, and Rakim.
Do you think Biggie even belongs on this list?
Yes.
I mean, like, where would you put him?
On the back. But it belongs. Because it's not a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it's catching that work. I'd put him somewhere I could see him being somewhere between 30 to 45.
Would you put him ahead of Kendrick?
That's not fair to Kendrick. If we're just being.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mike. Ooh. No, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Because we always talk about the fact that no one did more with 2 albums than Big.
See, that's what I mean. Discography is the bodies of work. So it's all that other stuff that he did, too. It's like the Junior Mafia shit, the guest appearances. Yeah. Like, you know what I was listening to? I was listening to that shit he did with Tracy Lee.
Yeah, it went crazy. Keep your hands high.
Yeah, they keep your hands high. I'm like, this shit crazy.
He was getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
It's
Victory, No Way Out. That's what I mean, No Way Out. Conspiracy by Junior Mafia.
Yeah.
Total on Can't You See. 112 on Only You. Flavor in Your Ear remix. Shaq with You Can't Stop the Rain.
Yeah,
you know
could really
Tracy
hear
Lee with
You can hear him getting better on "You Can't Stop the Rain." That shit was crazy.
That might be my favorite Big performance. Like,
yeah,
as guest appearance.
He really showed up for Shaq.
There's no reason for me to listen to that song the way that I'm still listening to it to this day, except for the fact
I mean,
that
Shaq did his thing.
Shaq got busy, but man, Big is just stellar on there. It's like, man, that's some GOAT talk right there.
You know,
it's real
we don't talk about his feature on the Bratz B-side, which is, Jermaine Dupri record too, but that you could play.
Oh, I already know, Mike. Trust me, I know.
When he comes in there, I never knew that you never had a clue on who was the king of the street. 4 deep in a Range Rover Jeep, gats under the seat, and my homeboy came home from work really like, nigga, who's rapping like that?
Who was this guy? This guy's great.
It's so effortless.
I would probably put him in the 30s just about that run. It's kind of like a Gale Sayers situation where it's like, well, Gale Sayers is like when if you look at his numbers for the time he played, he's an easy top 5 to 10 running back. But it's just like, well, he only played 6 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The other guys that are comparable to you just played more years. So on a list where he probably should be like somewhere between 4 to 8, he probably falls more like 18 to 25. That would probably be Big with the catalog.
Zuri with the super chat says Scarface has bigger songs than Big L and is held higher in hip hop. Again, how is that biased? White hip hop nerds love L more than anybody. Well,
I think we should do a list.
I think we should too. I was gonna say I think we can kind of conclude on that. You know what? This is the way we need to do this now, because I know when you and I get in here and we start debating, we never end up with a list.
Correct.
You do a list, and I'll do a list, and then we'll talk about it and try to get a compromise. How about that?
That's cool.
50's a lot though.
No, it's not.
It's a lot for me, man, because you know what happens to me when I get in the 30s. It kind of gets to splitting hairs or whatnot. It's like 25.
I mean, I think you got to remember, like, who's done who and done what. Now, here's what I say: the people that have made great albums, I give that more levity. You know what I'm saying? So, how about this? Where did DMX fall on there?
They had him around 27. I think Eminem was 28. This is what I would ask, too. And I guess we need to, and I think Eminem and DMX probably suffered from this. And obviously this list ain't accurate.
I don't feel right.
No. Obviously this list isn't accurate. But what this person was probably factoring in is the amount of bad albums with the good albums. And I think that's where, right. And so when it comes to Eminem and even DMX, right, that's going to kind of have to be factored in too. And then when you look at Biggie, where it's like, okay, small sample size, but it's flawless.
I'm sick of Cool G Rap not being on these lists.
Yeah, it's very sickening.
I'm for real, like, I'm tired of that shit.
Yeah.
Because it just lets me know they don't know their history, really.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, I was listening to this track.
Cool G Rap is kind of New York's, I guess, Scarface in that sense, where he didn't make quote-unquote radio records, but he made quality.
Oh, Mike. It's another guy Scarface did a record with. Matter of fact, first New York dude to do a record with Scarface, Cool G Rap. So think about it. Scarface has worked with Cool G Rap, Nas, Jay, Tupac, Ice Cube. You think that's accidental?
Beans.
Like, yeah. Lil Wayne, Bun B.
T.I.
Yeah. Too Short.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Face like that. That's what I'm saying. Is like, no, you don't work with all of those guys and not be like that.
Oh no, he's all-time great. His quality's there. His consistency's there, and his work ethic's there.
Mike, he's got a great rap voice. He's one of our best storytellers.
He's one of the best rap voices.
He's one of the best rap voices ever. He's a top 5 storyteller, Mike.
I think he's top 3. Shit,
I agree.
I got him. Honestly, I had him in number 1 before I really started breaking down Nas' shit. The only reason why I got Nas over him is because of detail and volume.
Mike, he's my number 2. Mike, he's my number 2 discography guy. Guess who my number 2 storyteller is too?
Yeah,
right.
I got him over Ghost. Ghost is at my number 3.
So think about this. So he's top 5 storyteller, top 5 album catalog. He's worked with all the other top guys.
Where does he fit in voice?
Voice is top 10 to 15 to me.
I think so.
Top 10 to 15 on voice, no lower than 15. He's got all the tools, Mike.
Why do you think it's regional? Why he gets overlooked in this way?
West Coast niggas love Face. South niggas love Face.
I think
New York niggas love Face too, but there's something about how it, like, you know what I mean?
I think it's that, And I also think that he's not flashy.
That's what
His
it is.
style's not flashy. Like,
well,
because DMX is kind of, if we keep it real, the guy that we got on his Dark and Hell is Hot is a flashy version of Face.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that aggression, and I think that Face doesn't pull people in that way if you're not really listening, if you're just, pedestrian listening.
See,
and I think that's what it is.
See, but okay, so here's where the bias comes in my opinion. Is DMX more charismatic and a bigger star than Scarface? Yes. But let's go to early like Scarface. It's like, no, very DMX like with A Minute to Pray and Second to Die. Mary Jane.
DMX was very vocal about that too.
Now I Feel You.
Yeah.
Mr. Scarface is back. The actual Mr. Scarface is back record. It's like, no, he was making the type of joints like that where had he been in New York, Mike, the streets would have taken differently to it.
Didn't DMX say, what's this on Backstage where he said
Scarface and Jay?
Yes, Scarface and Jay.
Scarface and Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah. X know what time it is.
Yeah. Most rappers do. Biggie clearly used Scarface as a blueprint.
He is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah.
That's some real shit.
Ready to Die is Scarface. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at how he ended the album. Suicidal Thoughts, that's Scarface.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scarface did that first on Mr. Scarface is Back.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
The influence is there.
He's like that. That's what I'm saying. He's missing nothing.
I remember even reading some of the Illmatic articles and interviews where Nas was talking about, Face.
Listening to Scarface's The World Is Yours.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
Chris with the super chat says, Mike, or it said, Mike, are you serious? Kendrick's catalog is not better than Rick Ross. I dare you to go on the station head.
I agree. Rick Ross' catalog is better. But look,
I like it. We got to get up out of here. CJ Kid with the super chat says, I'm from Jersey. I love Face, damn it. It feels like everybody loves Face. We're talking more so, I feel like we're talking about a radio thing.
Everybody be saying that until it's time to put him ahead of one of their favorite New York rappers. That's what I'm talking about. Until it's time to really put him where he belongs. Esquire
with the super chat, and we're going to get out of here. He says, Scarface is the most unanimously respected Southern MC among hip-hop heads from all regions, as evidenced by the collabos you just named.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, we're going to get up out of here. And, man, I'm looking forward to putting this list together. We are going to do this station head. The next station head we're going to do is the J and Ye. Do you really want to do that one next?
Oh, Mike, you want to know what? The part of me that was worried stopped being worried when you actually thought Jesus Walks was better than The Evils.
Well, I know where to place that now. CJ Kidd says, Jay Prince said both Pac and X said that their favorite all-time rapper was Face. That should tell you something. Well,
it's Face.
Well, on that note, we out of here.
Consider it a favor till I need a favor.
All right. We will holler at y'all at the station head. Great show, sir.
Get on Mike to do the station head.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. We got another one. It says, coming from Cool G Rap being a lyrical giant himself, it's big that he named Scarface top 10 lyricist ever. Just goes to show you how great he is. There it is. I love that Scarface is getting his flowers.
He deserves them.
All right. And on that note, we out of here. Everybody have a great night. Claire.